apocalypse, Mr. Manheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
What's up, muties? Welcome to Darkseid's Couch. This is James Klops.
Oh, this is Wolver Mike.
I'm Shée.
Oh, not rehearsed. Almost faked our way through it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, here we go.
All
Here we go.
right.
Oh, I thought you guys were going to do yours too. Sorry. That's why there was the awkward silence.
All right. I'm not going to cut it back together.
No, you
That's
just have
fine.
to just say it. Just say what it is.
Oh, I was going to say Banshee.
Oh,
that's the best one, too.
That is the
I
best
know.
one.
That's why I thought that you'd tee up yours as well.
I'm not going to cut it back together. That's a lot of work.
I just picked Wolverine because I'm sure he pumps out animal pheromones to get girls to fuck him.
And that's what you think you do?
That's what I would like to
That'd
be
mutant
an
power.
ability. That'd be a good mutant power.
It's funny because Wolverine is in this, but he doesn't get a lot. Like, this is slightly before Wolverine Fever, where Wolverine had to be the star of fucking everything. So he's in here, but he doesn't do anything.
He's the original short king.
You know, he was a king. Here's another reason in my continuing file on why Wolverine is stupid. So Wolverine has... He's stupid. He's got... How long is his blade? His claws are at least 8 inches, right?
Varies.
But I think minimum 8 inches.
Like
I don't think he ever
Batman's
has any-
ears.
Yeah, like
He doesn't
Batman ears. It depends on the
Not
artist.
that. It does depend on the artist, but we've never seen stubby little 3-inch Wolverine claws come out. They're always at least like 8
depends.
inches, I'd say.
It changes.
And when they
changes.
retract, where do they go?
They live in his forearms.
All the way. So they retract past his wrist.
Yes.
Because that's the only way. Because otherwise, he couldn't bend his wrist. He would bend his wrist and his claws would burst through his hand.
He's got like
Arm.
sheaths that Weapon X put in his forearms.
That go so they go all the way up to his forearms. That
They're
seems like
pretty much his entire forearm is where his blades live, and they come out through his knuckles.
wow.
Was that your plot hole that you needed to fill in with cement there, bud?
I can give you a lot more problems with Wolverine. I always bring up the time in Civil War where he got like a bomb dropped on him, was reduced to bone, and then just regrew.
That's not Wolverine's fault. That's the terrible writer's fault.
That was Mark Miller's fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or possibly
Mark Miller.
Marvel editorial.
There you go.
Oh,
It's dumb.
God.
Yeah, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Wouldn't he also, even with the super healing, wouldn't he still be scarred horribly? Like just
No.
because you have because his healing is just faster than humans. It's not. It doesn't reduce the scarring and everything.
Maybe he's just made of stem cells.
Yeah, he's constantly just re-injecting them
He's
stem
stem
cells.
cell man.
I heard that's why when you have a baby, you keep the placenta because you like keep the placenta in cold storage, and if the baby gets sick, it's basically like super stem cells for the baby.
What do you mean? How do you give it to the baby?
I don't know. I'm assuming that they extract some cells from the placenta, and they inject them into the baby or the kid. And
What if I take the placenta? What if I put a funnel in my butt and just
Should
pour
probably
the
find out.
placenta into it?
Yeah, probably find out. I don't know. I don't know if it turns you into the Hulk or if
There
it
you
makes
go.
you. I don't know what it
Okay.
does to you.
Now we're
It's
talking.
worth finding out. It's worth the risk, of course.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
It's
I think so,
yeah,
Shée.
Shée, it's absolutely worth the risk. This is guy stuff.
What's the worst that could happen? I shit out the placenta?
I mean, I guess you could get like poisoned and die, but again, worth the risk.
I'm not going to get poisoned and die. I'm going to have stem
Okay.
cells.
Okay. Never mind.
It's just going to be that South Park episode.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's his name is sucking the fetuses?
Yeah, and what's his oh god, what was it? Gene Hackman.
Superman, R.I.P.
Yeah, he was Superman turned evil and Gene Hackman had to stop him, yeah.
Yeah,
It's the only
poor
one that makes
Reeves.
sense.
I feel like going riding today. That was a bad decision.
Yeah, but fuck Superman this year. Fuck
Oh,
Superman.
right,
now.
right. Yeah, we're
fuck,
saying
talking,
fuck
we're talking about
Superman.
that asshole.
Yeah,
I'm already thinking about what books we can do in January, though, when we welcome him back. And much like going to church, we pretend like we liked him all along.
I got like 5 queued up that we could pick from that are pretty fucked up.
I do think that maybe I've been reading some of the 90s books lately, and I do think that maybe we should touch on the electric blue suit Superman era.
I think we should fucking stop talking about Superman.
Yeah.
We're violating our rule here.
Yeah.
Planning for a year from now?
It's like 8 months now. Like
Jesus.
time is ticking. Time is ticking
It
away.
is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we can get into what we're talking about today because we had a lot of fucking story in this book. Holy shit!
Yeah.
There's no
We're
time
doing-
for anything but story in this.
Yeah, we're doing X-Men, which is weird because like we don't normally do X-Men.
It's weird that X-Men doesn't come up more often, considering
No,
how silly it
yeah,
is.
right. I love X-Men. You'd think I would want to do it all the time.
I more or less like X-Men. I mean, I don't follow what they've been doing for the past couple decades, but in the 90s as a kid, oh yeah.
I got back into it when they started doing
Mm-hmm.
the Island Nation X-Men stories. That what's his name's been writing. I've been liking those.
Well, this isn't technically X-Men. This is actually What If, another
Yeah, this
book
is a
that you
What
would
If
think we
book.
would look at more often, but we never.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be nothing but.
Yeah. It's pretty much our entire alternate reality about comics that we've crafted over the course of the podcast is basically one long What If.
Well, this one especially, since you've brought this up several times, that like the X-Men should just be killed like every time they go out and try something.
Well, because they're a school for children. And
Well, none of them
Professor
are
Xavier-
children though. None of the X-Men are children. Wolverine's like what, 80?
Well, yeah, Wolverine is an old man, but the rest of them
we
were
didn't
children.
say the title of this yet.
What If? It's a What If comic.
Oh, it's what if the X-Men died on their first mission?
Yeah, we forgot that part.
Yeah, things would make sense. Things would be logical. This charlatan Professor Xavier, who, by the way, what is he a professor of? I don't know that that's ever been just general sciences.
Violating privacy.
Yeah, that's another thing. In this book, several times he reads people's minds without apologizing for it. Wasn't that a thing? Like, don't I always tell people I don't do that?
Right, I would tell people that I don't do that, but then do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Charles Xavier has more scruples than you. He's only sending children off to die.
They're not children. Cyclops is like 40.
No. When X-Men started, I believe they were like teenagers.
This wasn't when X-Men started. This is already the second generation of teams. That's why they brought in new people, because he was 40.
The Marvel Wiki says Professor X has PhDs in genetics, biophysics, psychology, anthropology, and psychiatry at Oxford University and Columbia University.
No, he don't. He just read minds of people who has that
Yeah.
shit.
He's got friends in high places.
I
A
wouldn't
lot
be
of
studying nothing.
disposable income. Yeah, no. He's one of the most powerful mutants on Earth. Yeah. Fuck that.
I would
Fuck
just have
studying.
smart people live in apartments around me, and I would
Yeah,
just
and
be
just
pulling
absorb
info
it.
from their brains.
That's all you need. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what the
right.
internet is, basically. That's
Right, yeah, I'd have an internet of humans.
Yeah, he's putting the bro in Cerebro.
Right.
Absolutely. All
That's
right.
so dumb.
Well, okay, I've got a lot of beefs with Professor Xavier. I guess we'll get to that as we go through. This
Yeah.
is What If Volume 2, Issue 9 from, I believe, 1990. What if the new X-Men died on their very first mission? Written by Stanley's houseboy, Roy Thomas. Art by Rich Buckler Sr. and Sam De La Rosa.
Why is he his houseboy? What do you mean by that?
Oh, we've talked about Roy Thomas. Roy Thomas was a company man who definitely followed Stanley's direction. And when one of our first episodes we ever did, we looked at an issue of Mr. Miracle when Jack Kirby went back over to DC, and he did an issue of Mr. Miracle introducing a character called the Funky Flash Man, who was a thinly veiled parody of Stan Lee.
Oh, I remember
And-
that. We
yeah.
did that in like our second episode.
Yeah, and Stan Lee's Funky Flashman's assistant was a sniveling little guy named House Roy, which was a parody of Roy Thomas.
All right, that was mean.
It was a little, looking back, it was a little mean spirited. Yeah, it was
It's like,
a little
hey, I made a
rough.
whole comic based off of how much I think you're a little bitch.
Yeah. Funky Flashman had a wig.
That's fucking fighting words.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's Jack Kirby was he's a military man, and Stan Lee was a coward. So
I thought Stan Lee fought in the war too.
did he?
I think so. Let's
Okay.
look it up.
Was Stan Lee in the military? Enlisted in 42 during the height of World War II, was set to deploy overseas when his brief history in comics totally changed his wartime course at the last minute. I don't know the whole story on that, but it sounds like he,
Bone spurs.
yeah, his feet hurt. Can't go to war.
Repairing
Sorry.
telegraph poles and other communications. Something.
I'm surprised he doesn't take credit for other writers' military histories.
Yes.
No, he stopped World War II. Don't you know that?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Gotta be a true believer. Gotta be a true believer. Jack Kirby was spending that time killing Nazis.
Yeah, he was. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
It's a fine way to live.
For a little while there, yeah, you can make a good living doing that.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, you had to go a good 80 years before you could do it again, but now it's
Oh
hunting
no,
season again.
you just kept going. Like that never went away. It's just the internet kind of pointed it out.
They were a lot quieter. It was a lot harder to suss them out. This cover here, we talked a little about it last time, but man, what an absurd cover.
Yeah, right. Like in Xavier's grief, he still managed to take the time to make a huge headstone for all the X-Men he killed.
So yeah, in the background here, we have a headstone with what is it, 12 X-Men that he killed, and he really should have left some open space for the future mutants he plans to kill. Like, he filled up the entire headstone. Like, just leave some space, bro.
He's extending it. He's putting another wing.
Professor
There's
Xavier.
going to have to be additions.
Why is this thing 300 feet long, Professor Xavier?
There's no
See,
mutants.
he builds up instead of out.
That's how he solved the mutant problem. He had them join the X-Men and they died.
So
Like,
which
what?
X-Men are on this?
So there's Wolverine, Thunderbird, Havoc, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, Banshee, Iceman. I don't know who that one dude is.
Boy. Yeah.
Sunfire, Nightcrawler, and Colossus.
Yeah, that one guy. I guess I'm sure we'll identify him as we go.
Yeah, who's that dude?
I don't know.
I don't even know which dude you're talking about.
There's like a
this
dude
guy-
in between Iceman and Sunfire.
Right below Havoc.
Yeah, who
second
the
row,
fuck is that
third in.
dude?
Who's that dude?
I
Fuck,
don't
is
know.
he just some
He looks like
random,
the Atom who jumped
random
over there.
dude?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll
Whoever he
identify
is, he's dead.
it. And we've it doesn't matter now. He's 3B now. And we've got Beast is
What if he's mourning? He's like in front of the grave, and he smacks his head on the head of the guy. I don't know. He goes, I don't even fucking know who you are, but I'm sad.
you're all numbers to me now.
He's turning to the chisel guy. Who the fuck is this? I didn't ask for this, dude. What if it's a template? But it's just a blank head to turn into whoever else he kills later.
Yeah.
It's you.
Oh,
Like
he
that.
did
There you go.
leave space.
There's
What if that was
Abel's
supposed to be
face.
Beast? Because he didn't realize like Beast was like working somewhere else, and Beast is there. He goes, "Oh, wait a minute, Beast is still here. Leave that one blank."
God damn it.
Might
You know,
be.
They actually sell those nowadays because like the pressure on comic book artists is so immense to make everything look so good that they actually sell books that just have generic superheroes in different poses, and professional comic book artists are encouraged to just buy these books and trace what they need.
That's pretty smart.
That's a real thing nowadays.
That's
so
a
we all just
Disney
have to accept
trick.
it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Disney trick, but it's also like comics have to look so good and they have to come out on such a tight timeline that it's just like, dude, something's got to give.
I imagine like the rise of digital art has increased their productivity like tenfold.
Yeah, there's definitely, because you can definitely just like mirror certain things. Like you don't have to draw both sides of a symmetrical thing anymore. Yeah, I don't know.
I have a buddy I work with named Jeff, and he, while we're like on break just hanging out, he'll have his digital art pad, and he'll make photorealistic like art just sitting there, just
Sure.
being bored.
Yeah, it helps.
Dang.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
You
Yeah.
should ask him for the porn about the thing.
Oh, right? I bet he
Oh,
would if
yes,
I
the film
asked.
porn.
I bet
Yeah.
he'd make porn for me.
Get on this.
Photorealistic porn.
Right.
I
That's
like
the
our
important thing here.
I like our logo, but I'm always looking at contenders.
I never
no,
think. Yeah,
we
right.
keep our logo.
I don't want to ask though. I just want people
I just
to.
want to see a photorealistic thing dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Thing.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could.
Things man thing.
But I could give it a shot.
So yeah, that's kind of
He's
the
got to
setup here.
have one, right?
The thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's under all the rocks. is
What if
I
he
always
already
assume.
had a micro dick and it's just like 2 pebbles?
I mean, with that gruff voice, I assumed he was always pretty well endowed. He seemed like a manly man.
You never know. You could just have a teeny peeny.
Those cigars might have stunted it, though. That's possible.
Yep.
Smoked a lot
I'm
of
terrified
cigars.
of eating or ingesting anything that will affect my dick. That's why I never got into cocaine, because I heard it shrinks your dick.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Between the cocaine and the steroids, like that whole area is just microscopic.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll
you
keep
can't-
my
you can't be
dick,
losing
thank you.
that. Yep. So yeah, that's Beast pushing away Charles Xavier, who's saying the X-Men are dead and there's nothing I could do about it, and any investigatory body would certainly agree.
The Beast is just like, what am I doing here?
I might just leave.
Because we find out later, like he already had a job at the Avengers. He already got the career he actually wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna go
step up.
back? Yeah, like
This weird school that this
yeah,
con man's
right.
running.
This is what he went to school for.
So the concept of What If is it's just alternate versions of how comic storylines in the Marvel Universe could have gone. No bearing on reality. And man alive, they shoved like a year's worth of plot into this story.
Holy shit! Yeah, they do.
This universe's Watcher is fat as shit.
Yes, this is Uatu. Is that his name? Uatu?
Yeah, like
Watcher?
it's like they normally he's supposed to be like a normal dude with a giant head. Here he's just a fat guy.
He's a fat guy in a toga. Yeah.
That
yeah.
random head on the front, was that Cyclops? But they forgot a mask.
No,
'cause I think
Cyclops is on
is
there.
up there. Yeah, Cyclops is up there. He's in the first line. Let's see. We're looking at a big splash panel with a lot of characters. Is it Angel? No, it's not Angel, because Angel has his hair. Where is
I guess
Angel?
maybe it is Angel. Okay, all right,
They
that's
fucked
who
up
it is.
Angel's head though. But
No,
Angel has
he had a bunch of different costumes.
All right, fine.
So
Well,
maybe
But they
this
show him
book-
on the cover with a costume.
Right, I tell you who's not on the memorial is Polaris. They didn't even bother to put her on it.
Was Polaris in the
shit.
book? I don't think
Yeah, I
Polaris was in the book.
guess she was in the X-Men. There she is, right there. There's Polaris.
Where's
She's right next to
Polaris?
Jean Grey.
Oh yeah. A lot of characters just don't get to do much in this book. There's so much.
He's like, I don't even know this bitch. Leave her off the mausoleum.
All the women kind of look the same.
They're like, yeah, who was she? That was Magneto's kid. Yeah, leave her off.
Man, maybe they put her on the back. This is just the one head on the back as they kind of move around to the side there.
All right.
So yeah, a lot of these books were narrated by the Watcher, and he gives us kind of a setup of what's going on, and then we start into our adventure with Moira McTaggart.
You know, that's
Is that
a
her
Marvel
name?
show I liked a lot. What If? I liked that. We were
Yeah,
talking about
I
Moon
liked
Knight earlier, and I said I didn't care for it.
I didn't know
And,
there was a What If. It was,
Yeah,
a cartoon.
yeah, it was
Never
a
mind. Yeah,
cartoon.
I do remember.
I liked that a lot. That was great.
All that shit's canonical. Good luck explaining to people now that the intentionally non-canonical TV show is canonical because all the movies involve the multiverse now.
Yep.
It's both canonical and non-canonical at the same time. Enjoy that.
Best just not to
People
worry
over
about
40. Yeah, people over 40 having a great time trying to figure out what the fuck this means.
it. People over 40 should have other stuff to do
Yeah, that's true.
than
We're
worry
getting there.
about TV shows for children.
I think I'm probably going to turn 40 and stop giving a shit about any of this, like the day of. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I was trying to watch. They released a bunch of episodes of like Young Justice. It was the cartoon I used to watch. And while I was watching it last night, I was like, "What am I even doing? This isn't even
Yeah.
for me. I don't even fucking care."
Yeah. I walked away from certain things. I mean, there's still a lot of great comics. There's a lot.
Sure.
But yeah, there's definitely stuff that is not. Everything's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Just because you like comics or comic book movies or whatever, it doesn't mean that you have to be into all of these movies and TV shows.
Yeah. I felt that way with Stargirl. I got through the first
Yeah.
season and it was like, and
Stargirl is
I'm done.
perfectly fine for who it's for. It's just not
Yeah.
for me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that like
Yeah.
it was not meant for me.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like people bitching about wrestling. It's like, what are you doing? You're bitching? You're bitching about wrestling? You need to do other stuff.
Yeah, maybe you need to get a fucking oil change, something else. You can build a ship in a bottle. There's so many things you can be doing.
And here our followers on Twitter are just plummeting.
You know, I'm surprised because it seems like when we say antagonistic shit, people seem to be okay with it when even though it personally is like aimed at their interests sometimes,
Yeah.
unintentionally.
I'm not trying to be antagonist. I'm just trying to be honest.
Look, it's a mixed blessing. It's a love-hate relationship with action figures and furries and such.
I
I'm
like
glad those
furries
things
more than I
exist.
like action figures.
I like a good action figure.
I'm for most sexual deviancy.
I had McFarlane action figures when I was I don't know 18 or whatever. I had a bunch of them, and they lived in a box until a few years ago. But they were great. They're fucking awesome.
Sure.
They set my imagination on fire.
Yeah. Like an STI.
That's the SDI for the soul.
You want to know why? Because it sets you on fire and it prevents you from getting laid.
Okay, that's fair.
I have some action figures still.
Yeah, she has a couple. I don't really. I have like two little, barely articulated things on my comic shelf, but I would consider.
Yeah, you have like statuette.
I have like
kind
a
of
couple
things.
little statues. I would get a dark side figure. I'd get a nice hefty dark side,
Ooh.
but I just can't. I can't go overboard with it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, but the thing is, your threshold for overboard is way lower.
My threshold, owning anything is like
yeah,
a
owning
problem.
Yeah,
anything is a
kinda.
problem. fucking capitalist asshole with your things.
Yeah. I mean, and James, you have a Thomas Pynchon action figure, essentially.
Which is, again, you brought this up before, like the couple of little toy things I have on my shelf, but you gave me like almost all of them.
Yeah, I did.
So it's really weird. But yeah, I do have a little Thomas Pynchon wearing a paper bag over his head.
Who's
Favorite
that?
author
Who's
of mine.
Thomas Pynchon?
He's one of my favorite authors, the author of Gravity's Rainbow and The Crying Lot 49 and Mason and Dixon and
Oh, cool.
a lot of fantastic, very dense books. Anyway, speaking of fantastic, very dense books, this story opens up with Moira McTaggart, who is a former lover of Professor Charles Xavier, and she's hanging out wherever she lives in the Scottish Highlands, riding a horse because she's privileged like that.
Fucking rich lady already don't like her. Horse
Doing her-
people,
doing
fuck
right.
them.
Yeah, she's doing just fine. And she's hanging out with this little Scottish girl, like 10-year-old Scottish girl named Rain,
Yep.
who we don't really find out anything about her. She's just this girl.
She grows
I
up
just
to be.
assumed from the beginning that she was the werewolf lady.
Yeah, she grows up to be Wolfsbane,
She's
prominent
Wolfsbane.
X-Men character.
Okay, I do know Wolfsbane, but I don't know her well enough to have known her,
Yeah.
her
Yep,
name.
that's
and
She's
her.
part
Okay,
of
cool.
that crazy ass story where she gets pregnant with multiple man's baby.
Wow.
Okay, I
Do
didn't
you know this
that.
one? Have you heard of this
Have
one?
you heard this?
No,
Have
have
you
you
heard about
heard this? Heard this one?
So
Fuck that.
I don't
dude.
remember multiple man's name. I apologize.
Jamie.
Isn't it-
Jamie.
Jamie, thank you.
something.
That's
Jamie,
fine.
yeah.
So
Madrox. Jamie
Madrox.
Madrox.
I was
Thank you. There we
close.
go. The three of us figured it out.
Put it together. The three of us know the multiple man's name. Anyway, continue.
That's
Go
right.
us.
It took multiple of us.
Hey.
Uh,
Anyway, so he knocks her up. She has a baby
Ooh.
with him, and he gets handed the baby, and he absorbs the baby.
Fucking
Wow.
awesome.
what baby?
Yeah, she is not happy.
I think you're
That's
hysterical, lady. There was no baby.
That's pretty funny.
Then what am I doing with this placenta, multiple man?
Yeah, right.
I wonder if that might have been Peter David.
He absorbs the baby. He's like, that felt good.
I don't think he reacted that way.
He looked at her and goes, perfect, thank you.
How? What?
And then puts his hat back on from the hat rack and then walks out the door.
Kisses his fingers. Mwah, mwah.
They did a story where like multiple man turned into multiple people and then sent them across the world to gather different skills and
Yeah.
then brought them home to absorb all of it so he was become super smart.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
like
not a
makes
bad
one
idea.
like one's a priest
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and a bunch of stuff, right?
One guy doesn't come home, so he goes and searches for him, and he like got married and had a family, so he just left him there. He's like, all right. Absorbs their dad and leaves children.
Yeah, right.
And then absorbs the children. I don't get it. Like his multiple, like he left those kids alone. Why do you have to absorb Rain's baby?
He didn't mean to
It was an accident.
because he was holding it.
Maybe
That
he
was the
should have went to
thing.
Professor Xavier's school to learn to control his powers.
Yeah. Or math or anything else that you're supposed to learn in school.
Yeah, right.
Like, let's say
I didn't learn maths in school.
Let's say they do learn to control their powers. Like, they still don't know how to like write. They still don't know cursive. Like you need a well-rounded education.
They tell you that if you don't keep up with stuff, you lose it. I pretty much lost everything I learned in school.
Wow.
Like I don't remember
also
how to do
think
anything.
A lot of high school, they did a poor job of actually like making it stick.
Dude, I don't remember how to do fucking anything.
Yeah. It's a wonder you're here now.
It's weird I continue to function.
But you're in a society of people that are
Oh,
all.
oh.
Oh, shit!
Nice.
That's the secret word. Sorry. You're in a culture of people who are all at the same level. Like nobody retained anything.
Nope. It's
So-
a nation of dummies.
Yeah, possibly a planet of dummies.
There's a sound effect I gotta send you later. The dummies, yeah. I gotta do
Yeah.
that. I'll do that later.
The crash test dummies, yeah.
No, there's a wrestler from like a few years ago who'd have a button, and it was a
Mhm.
dummies button, and he would
Mhm.
smash it, and then there'd be a little cartoon head of him, and he'd go, "Dummies, yeah."
Jesus Christ! Some of these wrestling gimmicks.
That
Oh my
shit
god!
was fucking hysterical.
I bet. So anyway, on panel 2, we see that you know what? You're letting the flab come out. It's fine. So we see that this lady who lives with Moira says like, oh, somebody from the States is saying that Charles Xavier needs your help. So you need.
Yeah,
to,
right.
you
They
need to
sent
go
a
and check on
letter.
him. They sent a letter. It took 3.5 weeks
Right.
because
And,
it's 1990.
And little Wolfsbane comes running up to Moira because her her caretaker is Rasputin, and he's
Right.
treating her poorly.
He's treating her poorly, and then Moira just like says, "I'm going to talk shit about your relationship with this kid right in front of him."
Yeah,
Moira
right in
like
front of
calls him out for basically not loving the kid.
And then she's like, "I'll just give your church some money if you just let me keep this kid." And he's like,
And
"All
he's
right."
like, yeah, this kind of works out for everybody.
He's like, "Well, I don't want her around, and I do like money for my church."
Perhaps this isn't a conversation to have with her 3 feet away.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, they take her and they say like, all right, well, we're just gonna go see this weird guy who runs a very respectable school. He claims.
You can tell when this comic was written because they're like, "Man, well, we're gonna have to figure out how to get you into America because like you have no like documents or anything, but I'm sure we'll figure it out when we get to the airport." And they just put her on the plane, let her fly to America.
That's the way it was back in the day.
That's all it was, and no one cared.
Meanwhile, I gotta have my bag inspected every fucking time I go through the TSA.
Yeah, dude, it's a bitch going to different states.
Yeah,
Let alone like
I have pre-check and they still make me take off my fucking shoes.
listen, this millionaire with his pre-check. Fuck you.
Guys, I have to correct myself. It was not Wolfsbane that had the baby with Madrix, which after looking into it, it turns out that the Madrix that she had sex with, it seems to have been a dupe as well. But it was Siren.
Oh, okay.
Siren. Okay.
All right. Who she's in this comic?
Siren from Homer's Odyssey. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, Banshee's in this comic.
I know, but like Banshee Jr., Banshee's daughter is named Siren.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
don't call her that in this comic.
All right. So Moira and Rain, they head back to the States. And they are greeted by Hank McCoy, who, as far as they're concerned, looks like a real person. He looks like a normal guy. He doesn't look like a 6.5. This is the point where I was a little disappointed because on the cover of the book, he's clearly a big blue furry monster. And here he actually looks like a normal guy in a turtleneck. I was a little worried
Right?
for a
With
moment.
a super Chad chin.
Well, they
Yeah.
explain it.
They
Look
do
how
explain
sexy
it.
he is with his giant hands. He's like everything like a woman today would want. Kind of nerdy, but still looks like a super Chad and has giant hands.
I think those hands are a little out of control, though.
Well, I mean,
Like, it's a
we
little
want
too
man
much.
who's a little out of control.
He couldn't play guitar. He can't serenade you with those giant
He can play a
sausages.
big guitar,
He can play a big Spanish guitar, yeah, a guitarola. whatever
right?
it's
He's
called,
playing
yeah.
the cello.
No, he's absolutely not playing the cello. He
He's
has
celloing
no
it
dexterity
up.
on those fingers.
No, he's playing the cello, but using it as like a bass.
That's a little more likely. Yeah, that's a little more possible. More
That
feasible.
seems intense.
Well,
So Hank McCoy brings all their suitcases in and starts to explain what's going on. That Professor Xavier actually doesn't know that I've called for you, so we're just gonna. I just threw you into an incredibly awkward situation.
I love how Dr. Hank McCoy, superhero Avenger, PhD, is now just working as Xavier's assistant because he feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
Apparently, some bad shit went down that we'll find out about shortly. And Hank McCoy just happened to be stopping by because he left his spare keys or something at the mansion, and found out that Xavier now needs somebody to change his diapers.
I don't want to hear anyone complaining about having to wear a mask ever again because, like, look at Hank McCoy here wearing an entire rubber face thing. And like rubber gloves to cover up his giant
Yeah,
beast
the
hands.
whole-
Like it's like I think you should leave, or just like I don't want to be here anymore because he's like
Yes.
covered in that suit that he can't breathe in. That's what Beast is like wearing right now.
Yeah, he's absolutely covered in it, but it can't. Like we can be convinced by it because we're looking at drawings, but we're actually led to believe that nobody could tell that this 6.5-foot blue furry ape man was wearing a rubber mask.
And he even kind of says, like, I didn't think this would work.
What if they open the door and they're like, Jesus?
What the hell is that? You smell like an ape man. Like it's very transparent. There's little tufts of blue fur coming out of the eyes and everything.
I would imagine he'd smell like shampoo.
If he takes care of himself.
I imagine a guy like him, like Beast, probably takes a lot of pride in his fur.
I don't know. He may just kind of let it go to hell. It's all matted up like a
I bet
mangy
he
dog.
doesn't. I bet he's all about it.
It's got to
I
be
think
a big ritual.
He was played by Fraser Crane.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Very
I like how
dignified.
people. I think I mentioned this before, but like people would complain at the time about how goofy he looked in a suit, like Kelsey Grammer as the Beast, and then he would wear a suit, and they would say it looked goofy. Like, yeah, of course it's gonna look goofy. Like that's kind of the point of it.
I thought he looked awesome.
I liked it. I thought it was actually. I mean, that movie sucks, but
Yeah,
no,
but he
it
was the best part.
He looked cool. He looked good. It was a good fit. It was a good casting.
Yeah, good casting, and the prosthetics look really good.
I wonder if he's going to come back in the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna come back and he's gonna take a bunch of coke and run some people down.
Oh, did Kelsey Grammer do that too?
I think so. I know he took a
Oh,
bunch of
God.
coke and went to jail for it for driving around.
He and Matthew Broderick need to get together and form a
Tim
little support
Allen.
group. Yeah, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen did that too. That was just a '90s sitcom guy thing to do, I suppose.
Yeah, 80s, 90s. It was just something you did when you had a lot of power and you didn't care about the value of human life.
Yeah, you just get divorced and you got a bunch of blow and you got a hot rod. Fuck it.
Woo-ha! No consequences.
I'm on Thursday nights.
Making $5 million an episode. Jesus
Can you believe
Christ.
that people got paid that much to make that garbage?
The monsters that we created.
Do.
And I watched that shit. I watch that every week.
I
And
think
it
that's
was,
why I don't remember math and shit like that. I think that those are the things that made me dumb.
Yeah. You would go home after school and then you'd see that shit and it would fall. What you learned that day fell right out of your ears.
That was bad parenting. Any parent that just sat there and let their kids watch sitcoms or like waste their lives, that's bad parenting.
See, this is a problem I have with like the idea of like you almost can't be a responsible parent nowadays because to be a responsible parent, you have to have like Disney Plus and you have to give these horrible companies and these horrible people all your money or else your kid is going to be an outsider.
Yep.
Like, what the hell are you going to do?
I don't know. Not
There's
live in
no-
America.
There's
Don't
no
have kids in
good way
America.
to have a kid. Yeah,
Nope.
you got to take that kid out of America.
Well, unless you want like an influencer kid. What if that kid turns out to be like making $8 million a YouTube video?
You probably do want an influencer kid. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. What's up, bro? Today we're looking at What If number 9.
Those should be the like, oh, how's it going, YouTube? Like that should be kids' first words.
What's up to all my followers? Smash that subscribe button.
That's right. That should be like the first thing kids learned.
Seriously, they'll go to YouTube and sign up for the Dark Side's Couch.
Yeah,
YouTube
we're
page.
those people
Smash
now.
that. Yeah, smash that subscribe button, ding that little bell. We put little funny images in the video versions of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of extra work. It's a lot of fucking extra effort. So please take a fucking moment.
It doesn't. It makes things worse that like I give myself way extra work. Like I don't need to make that many.
Yeah. Well, got to create that tent. Got to keep slinging that tent.
Yeah.
So, Beast takes Moira and Rain to go see Professor Xavier, who makes a really weird comment about how he can't have any sort of human contact, but he kind of makes it a little sexy.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
He does. He takes.
the
He
fuck?
says afraid. Well, anti-sex. He says, "I'm afraid I can no longer abide human contact." And he takes a moment and says, "Of any kind," because they used to smash.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see that. He couldn't smash now anyway. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, where exactly
That's
does
not
it
how
kick
smashing works.
Well, you got to have your
Not
dick
always.
your dick's got to get hard.
in? You don't have to, especially if you have crazy mental powers like Sting.
Oh yeah. He can just enter her mind and create a hard
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah. I mean, in Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, they fucked by he cultivated a tuber out of his body and she ate it and had a psychedelic trip.
Yeah, that was great.
That was
Yeah,
their
but then he
sex.
also got raped by some planet.
He got raped by a techno-organic planet that was in love
Kind
with
of doing
him.
the same thing.
Alan
Alright.
Moore's Swamp Thing is one of the greatest things that's ever been written.
Pretty cool.
It is really cool. It's like a text issue just randomly in the 80s when people were not accepting of this kind of shit. It just turned into a text issue about Swamp Thing's essence being thrown around through space, lands on a techno-organic planet that is in love with him, and the entire planet proceeds to rape Swamp Thing before spitting him out.
It's mostly text. I bet he like got in an argument with his artist.
Oh, I'm sure that. Well, I mean, I think it was like a page of text against like a single image, if I remember correctly. But it was very, very, very text heavy, and it was like that. That was not cool at the time. That was not acceptable.
Their conversation ended with, "Oh yeah, well fuck you."
Fuck
and then-
you! I'm
and
only
then-
drawing 10 pictures.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I'm not drawing this shit.
Yeah, I wonder if the artist still got paid the full rate.
I imagine like Alan Moore sent back, like what they would send, like he would send them the script, and then they would send back his panels, and he'd send them back like change these things.
He would write he does write extremely detailed scripts, and depending on the artist, they may just ignore it. Like that happened a lot with a lot of his runs. Like on his run on Supreme, the artist just said, "Fuck this, I'm not reading all this," and they just drew what they wanted to, and it hurts the story. It makes Alan Moore look like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, Xavier says like, all right, I got a bunch of dudes killed and I kind of need to lay low for a while. You understand?
And Rain is setting off the printer behind his head.
Yeah. He's got the very first printer.
Yeah, it's a mutant printer. Whenever mutants go near it, just prints out their face.
Yes.
And it says mutant.
It doesn't. It's not very helpful, but it works.
It lets me know who's a mutant.
I'm keeping all this stuff, even though I've supposedly disbanded the X-Men.
Like this loud machine that detects mutants, and it goes off when the kid gets near it, and Professor Xavier no-sells it.
Yeah, like, that's fine. It's a little fucked up. That's all.
He's like, it's whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the loud machine that beeps loudly when you get close to it.
I may be able to get this girl killed if I play my cards right.
He's imagining her getting like hacked to bits on some mission.
He's starting to get into it.
He's just like, huh.
They say after you've killed like 12, 13 kids, then you start to kind of get into it. It becomes it's just what you do.
Oh, we'll ask the Clintons.
Ew, uncomfortable. So yeah, he tells them, yeah, you guys can hang out, but I won't be seeing you. And he just wheels himself away. Yeah. He goes to sob, and it's covered over by the sound of the printer.
Yeah, it looks like a bird flew by and shat on Rain's face.
It does. There's a coloring error. And then Hank McCoy says, hey, look at this. And he pulls off his mask. And they're like, yeah, we fucking knew.
They're like, yeah, dude.
It's pretty obvious.
Like, you're in the Avengers, dude. We have a TV.
Yes.
Like, we know who you are.
Yeah. We already heard the name Hank McCoy.
He's like, check this out, guys. Not a real face.
You had no fucking idea. I got you so hard.
They're like, you're in the Avengers. What the fuck? Like, he comes in and opens their door for him. Hello, I'm Dr. Hank McCoy. Yeah, we know. We know who you are.
I don't know why he kept it on. Like, he kept it on for like 5 minutes, and then he just took it off.
You did a 20-minute press conference with Captain America on TV the other day,
holding the mask in your hand the whole time.
Yeah, he's spinning it around in his finger through the eye hole.
He got a little bored. So spinning the mask around.
Yeah, he's super smart.
Yeah. This is all beneath him.
Right, this is before the time of fidget spinners.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his his gymnasium full of his rings, so he can like swing around.
You know, Beast required a lot of space, like more than anybody else probably in the mansion.
I bet.
He needed
bigger toilets.
He needed industrial strength toilets. He's a mess of a man.
He's got like Costco shampoo being delivered.
Just pallets of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a 3-in-1.
Yes.
You think he's like shaving his butthole so he doesn't get like poop matted?
This is what I'm saying. He's covered in just disgusting things.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to think of how an animal deals with it.
Yeah, they lick it up.
In James's cat's perspective, James cleans it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make him. I'm not gonna debase
So maybe
him.
Beast just has a James who just cleans his butt for him.
I just get in the corner and I lick up his hindquarters.
Oh God, James, we weren't going there.
I think we were.
Nice, dude. Way to save toilet paper for the environment.
Yeah, seriously, I'm the human bidet.
That's what needs to be done. The people,
Jesus Christ.
these fucking pet owners just don't seem to care about the planet.
Don't ever refer to yourself as the human bidet again.
I guarantee that's a fetish.
That's one of the new X-Men that Professor Xavier is going to recruit for the next mission here.
He's running out of mutants. He's going with the human bidet. It's all that's left.
Bidet now. He really is just a dude licking cats' asses.
Listen. And why? Well, cats weren't using toilet paper in the first place. Mike, I don't think you understand how cats work.
I'm just saying, like, what if your cat had a messy bowel and you had to, like, clean its ass a little bit so his poo doesn't get matted in his little fur?
Right. That is true. That is something you do have to deal with from time to time.
There you go. Instead, you're just lapping it up like a mama cat.
Yeah. Okay. So then Beast decides to bring Moira up to speed about what happened here. Yeah. And it turns out that all the X-Men, or a bunch of the X-Men, actually, I guess it's not all of them. Maybe it was all of them. Was it all of them at the time? Maybe.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Sent them out. Except Beast, who just had better things to do that day.
And then there's a panel where Xavier and Cyclops are playing sex games.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. So yeah, well, before we get to that, the X-Men were dispatched to this island to investigate some anomalous activity, and they all got taken advantage of by this sentient island, much like a sentient planet taking advantage of Swamp Thing, and the only one who escaped was Cyclops.
Yeah, they all live there now in the modern comics.
Yeah. This is Krakoa, whatever.
Yeah, they all live there now.
Who's they all?
All the mutants, all of them.
All the
mutants. Not just the X-Men, all of them. Every single one of them. If you're a mutant in the Marvel Universe, you live on the Krakoan Island.
Why?
Because they get to do whatever they want there.
Yeah, they produce a lot of GDP.
Yeah, they don't got to worry about any of that
reason.
stupid bullshit. They don't got to worry about iPhones and licking cats' asses.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have their iPhones. They're not going without their iPhones. Jubilee, she's got an iPhone.
Jubilee's like 30 now.
I'm pretty sure she's still like 17.
No, she's an adult
Did they
now. That's
age
the
her
thing
up?
about X-Men comics. They tend to age up their characters.
Which is weird because like Marvel stresses their continuity between their books, but certain characters haven't moved at all.
Yeah, some haven't, but some have.
Like,
Like Cyclops has got to be in his 40s.
yeah. So here, Cyclops, when he gets back, it turns out that his optic blasts are going out of control. So Xavier has to tie up his eyes with a blind.
Weren't they out of control before? And didn't he already have a visor to protect him from
More
that?
so.
He's like,
Ruby
that
Quartz ain't
visor's
doing it."
broken. Let's just get a rag.
That's the backup plan. The first plan is going to be the multi-million-dollar Ruby Quartz visor. The second plan is this dirty rag I found in the garage.
Yeah. Now here he blindfolds him and he goes, "Open your mouth," and he sticks him on Beast's butthole to clean him so he doesn't
Jesus,
get.
can we move past buttholes?
It seems we cannot. All right. We can move on from that.
Have you no sense of decency, sir?
I'll make that for YouTube.
Okay. So Professor Xavier goes ahead and he straps into Cerebro, which is the machine that allows him to amplify his psychic power so that he can talk to mutants all over the world.
And he recruits the new X-Men: Nightcrawler, Sunfire, Wolverine, Storm. What was it? Thunderbird. Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
He sucks.
Yeah, he's not a character we see. He's the Native American superhero, and he's just strong, I guess.
So in Giant Size X-Men, the what if version of this story, they killed him off on his first appearance.
Yeah.
On the Krakoa mission.
Well, he's a jobber. Is that not what I would?
They just killed his ass. They were like, he's pretty much Wolverine. Fuck it.
You know, it's interesting that they spend a lot of time on this page going through each member of this new group of X-Men and why they're awesome and everything. And then on the next page is casually tossing, plus we had Banshee there, that Irish fuck. Plus Banshee. Like they don't spend any time on him at all.
What's his powers? He screams like a girl.
He fucking blows. The only thing they tell us about Banshee is that he's Irish. We go through everybody else. They just mention that Banshee is Irish.
And that ginger freak over there.
Yeah.
Cries like a girl.
So they send them out to Krakoa.
Yep.
While Professor Xavier is back pretending to be crippled so he doesn't have to go.
Yep.
And he's telepathically telling them to fight harder. Well, I don't know what he's doing. Like
he says that like when he's at home, he like strategizes with the X-Men. But all he's saying is like, fight a little harder,
Shoot
guys.
harder. Use your mutant powers.
And he claims ownership over them by saying "my X-Men."
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Right?
My precious X-Men.
Right? He's beating off while this is happening. If it still worked,
he does kind of have cum face.
He does. Yeah, he's got Twitter profile face. Yeah,
he just activates that part of his brain that feels good when it comes.
That's smart.
Yeah, I don't even know why he bothers with this whole X-Men thing.
Let us leave that motherfucker on.
God, I'd fall asleep so much quicker.
Yeah, right.
They mentioned that the school was a facade, but I feel like that's just an excuse the book's made up eventually.
Well, I mean, none of them were ever children. Like there's been no children in this building mentioned once.
I think that like Bobby Iceman was like 16 when he joined the team.
I think it's 2 years away from dying in Iraq.
I think the original band of X-Men were basically teenagers.
All right. Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, there we go. So what is he like? Was he signing children up for war? Like when he goes and talks to these people and signs them up for his school, was he telling them like, "Hey, listen, kid, this is what the actual deal is. We're gonna say it's a school, but really, you're gonna go fight a mutant war."
Yeah, he gathers these mutants, like these kids. Yeah. They're like, all right, you live here with me now. Now go fight this Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, we've got missions. Like fucking Christ, this is insane. You're gonna go to jail. Like this is not. You can't do this.
Forgot Magneto was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah. And he, if he really wanted to beat the X-Men, he could just call Child Safety Services.
Yeah, it's weird how he gets away with this with no real problems, no repercussions. He just has his shame, supposedly.
I guess because they're mutants, nobody cares.
During this whole sequence, Beast is also talking like an asshole. You notice this? Like he won't use like he says, instead of saying take the bull by the horns, he says take the male bovine by the bony projections.
Yeah,
He does that through the whole book. What a
Yep.
fucking asshole.
Well, I didn't want to say balls.
Don't they
No.
doesn't she mention he's using like the King's English or something?
Yeah, when he starts speaking proper, because he does speak proper, but there's a difference between speaking proper and being a pretentious douchebag.
I'm sure he's a pretentious douchebag. He's a superhero. Probably thinks he's better than everybody else.
Oh, Wolverine doesn't think he's better than everybody else because he knows it's not true.
His catchphrase is, I'm the best at what I do.
At what he does, which is a very specific thing.
Well, that specific thing is not very nice.
No, it's not. He is not a nice person to hang out with.
He probably stinks. That's someone who's not
Yes.
going to care about their hygiene.
He was born in like 1840 when there was no plumbing. Of course.
That motherfucker does not care.
He never adapted to indoor plumbing.
He'll like fart during a mission briefing and then like take a
Laugh.
puff on his cigar and be like,
He doesn't
ha,
give a shit.
I got one for you kids.
Oh my god, I get why they wanted Bob Hoskins to play him now.
Right? He'll let out a big fart and be like, oh, I stepped on a duck.
I thought that was completely ridiculous when you first said it, and then you put this together, and then the cigar mention, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I get it now.
Bob
I see it now.
Hoskins, he looks like Wolverine.
God damn it.
Wolverine is 180 years old. He's an
Yeah.
old, disgusting man.
It's bizarre. Like, they're like, we got to cast Wolverine. Who do you want to get? Let's get a 6'3" dancer. The fuck?
He fought in the Civil War. He's a bad
Did he?
guy.
Hugh Jackman is 6'3"?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
I don't know if he's 6'3", but he's tall.
He was
James,
too.
you just don't want anyone to be taller than you.
I really get. First of all, that's true. Secondly, Wolverine. I'll just say this: Wolverine. Yeah, he did fight in the Civil War, from my understanding of it.
No,
as
in the
well.
movie he did. In the comics, probably
in the
not.
comics he didn't. Okay.
No, that movie
yeah.
took some liberties.
I will be honest.
Nah.
As like a 6'3" individual, it does bother me when people are taller than me.
I bet.
I every time I run into someone taller than me, I think, oh, now I got to deal with this shit.
You go, "Row, row."
I rear up my tail. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I get very upset about it. No, it's
Mike, you're not taller than James, I know, but you're pretty close.
yeah.
I'm significantly shorter than James.
No, I think you're like 6 foot. You're in the good zone there.
No, 6 foot's no good anymore.
Well, you can fit in things. Like I don't fit on a plane.
Oh, like fit. Okay, like yeah, like I don't fit on a plane either.
I don't fit on a plane, movie theaters. Like it's a fucking, it's a hassle. Even going to concerts is tough because if you stand in front of people, they assume that you're doing it to be an asshole.
Yep.
Like, I'm not wearing a top hat. I'm not Abe Lincoln it here. I'm fucking tall.
Tall people shouldn't be allowed in concerts.
I think maybe we should have tall only concerts.
Yeah, right.
Bands should have a special tour just for the tall gentlemen.
Then all the girls will like stop going to every other show. They would only go to the tall only shows.
Well, that would make it very clear why they're there because like they're not going to see.
That
anything.
is.
Well, they're not going to see shit. So it's like, why are you here? Oh, I know why you're here.
That's why we gotta say things like Short King. We gotta give him something.
Sure, yes. Go off, Short King. I did see a meme that was, it said normalize same height parties, and everybody that comes to the party gets a pair of shoes that brings them up to the height of the tallest person at the
Oh,
party.
equity.
Yeah, so everybody is equal across the party.
That's a good, nice egalitarian idea.
I like that idea. Well, who's going
Right.
to fund the shoes though?
Yeah, they're still going home alone. They're just gonna like see who has the biggest shoes. Don't get laid.
Yeah, you can't have those giant shoes. Well, the
just like
giant shoes are going to cost more to manufacture than the smaller shoes. So why should the taller people have to offset the price of the thick shoes?
I didn't have any kids. Why am I paying for these schools?
I'm paying for these churches. I hate God. Speaking of godlessness, all these godless mutants are fighting this monster at Krakoa, or the monster is Krakoa, I guess. Like the whole island is alive.
Yeah, and Professor Xavier takes control of their minds and somehow throws the island into space, killing them all.
Yes, he does. He throws it into space. That is not made up.
How
that
did
actually
they
did
do
happen.
that?
This one
How-
took place.
How did they? They don't really say how they throw the island. Like, what
Well,
did they do exactly?
I'm assuming it was a combination of.
That's they use.
No, I thought they did say something about a sonic boom or something.
Oh, they use an electromagnetic means to negate the power of gravity, and
yeah.
launch the island into space.
just
that's
loosed
how
it
they
from
did-
gravity.
That's how they dealt with it.
That's how they. Well, I mean, that's a dire situation.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they die.
Yeah, they all died in space.
Which is the best place to die, really. You want to die in
No, oh my
No,
God.
you want to die in
One
space?
of my biggest fears is just being in the nothingness of space.
Well, let's see here.
That's not one of the worst ways to die. Not at all.
Yeah, what's the worst? Look, let's say, okay, what are the best and worst ways to die? I say the best ways to die are space or the Old West.
The Old
just
West?
in
No,
space, gradually waiting for your air to run out.
You're not graduating. Like, you pass out pretty quickly. Like, and then you suffocate, and then you freeze.
Yeah, it'd be, and it's a great story for your loved ones to tell people.
It's not like in like Total Recall where their eyes bug out and they burst.
Like you.
No,
died
I'm
in
thinking of being
space.
stuck in the actual like astronaut suit, left in space alone, waiting for your suit to like run out of oxygen.
Well,
So you
it's
can
better.
float there forever and die.
It's better than having mesothelioma. I mean,
as long as my music player still works.
yeah, as long as the Zune still gets a charge.
No,
Yeah,
no
right.
music.
Did you,
I'll go
did you bring
out
your
to-
portable battery?
No,
You're
pure
gonna charge that.
silence. That's
I'll-
it.
no,
All
I'll-
you hear is yourself.
I'll go out to that fat guy playing the ukulele, playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh, Tiny Tim?
Yeah, no, that fat Hawaiian guy.
Who is the Don Ho? He wasn't
Yeah,
fat.
I don't fucking know.
No, it's a mashup of Somewhere Over the Rainbow and What a Wonderful World.
All right.
Oh, Shée,
Mike is right. No, like Mike. Sorry, Mike. I'm just trying to back you up. Of like, it's a popular song. It's
I don't know what made me think of it.
All right, Shée. What's the best way to die then?
the best way.
Yeah, what's the best way to die?
In your sleep of old age, surrounded by your loved ones.
Oh, that sucks.
It's the easiest way to die.
Best way to die, you die killing someone you hate.
Yeah, you die just locking arms with a
Yeah.
Don't they
hated
win
rival.
then too?
No, you're bleeding. You're bleeding out, right? Because they stabbed you in a but you're still strangling them to death. So as long as you get them before you die,
Yeah,
you die killing someone you hate. That's
as long
amazing.
As long as you get to see them die and they're not sure that you died, they go to their
Fuck
grave.
yeah.
They go to their grave thinking you may have survived.
That's how you go to Valhalla, dude.
Yeah, that's how you get a festival when you arrive in the afterlife.
Fuck yeah, dude. Then
Look at this
like you
fucking
die
guy.
in the afterlife and Jesus comes up to you and goes, "That was sick, bro."
Yep.
And I'm like, "I know, right?" And then be too sweet.
Yep, and then you walk up to your rival and you punch him in the gut.
He ain't nah. Well, it depends. Well, I mean, how he died was pretty cool too.
Yeah, he had the second best death for
right,
sure.
right.
Like,
right.
but we're not going for the silver here.
No, locked in Mortal Kombat is the way to go.
That's definitely the way to go.
Right. I don't want to hear this like old person bed shit.
I mean, it's the easiest way to go, but it's not a good story.
Surrounded by annoying ass loved ones that disappointed you.
Yeah, I'd still be alive if it weren't for you people. All right, I'm pretty satisfied with that. Moving on. So Professor Xavier realizes he just hurled everybody to their death.
Yeah.
He has a little cry, and I think it's implied that when Beast showed up, just by sheer coincidence, Xavier was about to kill himself. I think.
Probably. How would he do? He just shut his own brain off.
I mean, I think he was probably worried about the federal investigation.
Yeah, right. What happened to those kids?
Like, what kids?
We're looking for German national Kurt Wagner, aka the Nightcrawler, whose address and green card was forwarded here. We're just wondering what happened to him.
Professor Xavier calls up the multiple man. Hey man, I heard you know how to make a bunch of kids disappear. I got this is like a heavy load. Like I'll pay OT on this one, but you got to get over here now. I need that cover story.
Yeah, so Beast is like, so I'm too good to be doing this, so I brought you a different doctor from another country to come take over for me.
A lady doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna hang chandeliers throughout the house.
And that's what he proceeds to do.
He's just going around every room, just hanging multiple chandeliers.
Yep. And Beast is upset because now that Rain's there, he has to wear pants.
Yep.
He has to fucking put on
It's
his
the bare
goddamn
minimum he
pants.
does too. He puts on like a pair of slacks,
Not
no
wearing a shirt.
underwear.
No. It's
Look
just
look, he's upside down, right? And he's like hanging the chandelier in his skivvies, and she walks in. He's like, "Oh shit! I forgot there's a kid here."
I can't do this anymore. Fuck.
So the next thing, he's just putting out a random pair of pants he had, just like thrown over his chair.
there's gonna be a lot of federales in this mansion soon. I can't be walking around without pants and a kid here.
God damn it! But he's got a pair of shoes.
Yeah. I'm not.
He's not a fucking heathen. He's just a beast man.
I know, but like having access to like his like feet is kind of his mutant power.
Yeah.
Like he's just covering him up with some shoes.
Well, I have the same problem with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's part of his mutant power, part of his not mutant power, superhero power, is that his limbs stick to things. So what does he do?
His
he wears
hands
boots.
his hands and feet were covered in the cloth thin enough where he could touch the walls.
You've said this before. This sounds like horse shit to me. Especially the feet. Fingers, I'll give you fingers. Okay, fingers could be really thin. But a shoe that thin, I can't buy a shoe that thin.
It's not a shoe. It's just like feety pajamas.
So he's just running barefoot around?
Yes.
He's gonna
What
be
if he
stepping
steps
on
on
rocks.
a nail?
Yeah, probably a problem.
They're not talking about this.
What if
This
he
is
gets
serious
shot by
problem.
the Green Goblin? I don't know. It sounds like he was living life on the edge.
This is why he swings around the city. It's not to get there faster. It's because he can't have his feet hitting the ground.
Yep.
Terrible.
Why didn't he go to this school? He's a mutant.
Yeah. Well, he's not a mutant. He
Oh,
was
sorry.
dead.
You're a mutant made in a different way.
yeah.
We discriminate here.
Yeah, you got to be a mutant by birth around here.
Maybe he just didn't have the money for tuition.
Yeah, he has to have a job even though he's Spider-Man, so clearly he's broke.
I know Warren Worthington, the angel, was a rich person.
Well, his last name's Worthington.
Worthington. Oh, very white.
Worthington.
White Worthington.
So Rain's looking around the mansion and she sees this big window and this big screen. It says, "What's that about?" And Beast goes, "Oh, never you mind. That thing never goes off anymore." And then it immediately proceeds to go off.
Right, where there's a monocle guy smoking a cigar.
So
Letting everyone know that his group of animal men
yes.
have taken over a military base with nuclear weapons.
And he says, "Never mind how." He actually says, "Never mind how. It happened. Deal with it."
He's like, I got a bug lady. I got a cat guy. I have an impractical bird man.
This is Count Nefaria, who is a villain I have never heard of
I'm sure
before.
he's nefarious.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
what's he gonna
job.
do with that name?
What was that like? I think that's his family surname or what?
I think he was born with that name, and so of course he's going to turn to a life of evil.
That's right. That's why you got to really pick your kids' names well.
Yeah. Name him Worthington.
That's why you don't name him Kyle, because they just start drinking Mountain Dew and smashing shit.
It never goes well with a Kyle.
All right. Or a Skyler. That motherfucker's buying a big truck.
Skyler, Tyler. Yeah, they're going to be recording a lot of YouTube videos from the seat of the truck.
Yep.
Tell you another thing about this Obama.
Count Nefaria originally appeared in the Avengers and was created by Stan Lee. So.
Stanley and Don Heck. Stanley and Don Heck.
Oh, so Don Heck created it.
Yeah, it's very
And he
entirely
was
possible.
a wealthy Italian aristocrat.
Oh, we're going to
Well-
give him an Italian accent for the rest of the comic book.
All right. I'll tell you though, like Stan Lee did create a bunch of characters. They just all sucked. Like the characters he created himself just blew.
Hey,
So
I'm
I
a
can
Count of
believe.
Nefaria. I'm from Italy.
I can believe he did this one himself. Yeah.
I will destroy the world unless you give me all the meatballs.
I want all your pizza pie.
I want the most delicious spaghetti dinner.
So,
One that my mama used to make.
oh, my mama, she's so sad. We start hearing accordion music playing in the background. She used to make it a thick salsa.
What if he's like introducing his animal people, and while like the camera's panning, it's just him now with an accordion playing a song?
He's in an Italian restaurant with the red and white checkered
What if
tablecloth.
like this is a pre-recorded video, right? And it's like every scene is different. And one, he's a gondola boat like rider, and he's
Well,
got
that's
the
Venice.
outfit.
That's
And
Venice.
and he's still like
Jesus,
telling
you might
him-
as well say in one he's dressed up as Mario.
Yeah. He's dressed up like Chris Pratt. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, legendary video game character Chris Pratt from the Mario Brothers.
He's gonna be the voice of a new generation. Like that's people
Can't
are
wait
gonna
for
know
Chris
him.
Pratt to be in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
No, he's gonna be for people under a certain age. When they think of Mario, they're gonna think of Chris Pratt and nothing else.
you know what? The other day I put on a movie while I was working out just to kind of distract me, and I put on the Sonic movie. That movie was really good.
People said it was okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Jim
Yeah.
Carrey was great.
I guess that explains why that Sonic poster is still up at the bus stop around my house.
It's
Like,
just so good.
still
Yeah.
working. It's
Like, I
it's
liked it.
It's
It
an
was
historical monument now.
Who
That
would've thought?
stars, bringing it full circle, that stars the Cyclops guy, right?
Yeah, it stars the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who played Cyclops in
Is
those
that
two little
James
movies.
Marsden?
James Marsden, I believe. Yeah,
He also played the guy Superman cucked in Superman Returns.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Oh.
I believe so. It was a couple years before the Sonic movie actually came out, and I saw like some official poster art that I guess was just like when they were pitching the movie. And if I remember correctly, and I haven't gone back and checked, I swear to God, the original poster that like whatever production company mocked up to sell this had Chris Pratt as the friend of Sonic in it.
No shit.
I'll try to look it up and find it. If I found it, it's on the YouTube video right now. If not, it's a big picture of a cat's butthole. But one of those two things is up right now.
No more goddamn butthole.
But yeah, I want to say that, yeah, they originally did it because they probably assumed, or maybe they were talking to Chris Pratt and he was going to be the guy, the human friend. And I'm guessing it fell through. I don't know. I want to say I remember seeing that on a blog years ago. So I'm going to try and dig that up. But
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, Count Nefaria, he has these animal people, including a surprise ape. It's another.
Yeah, there's an ape dude who's wearing Beats headphones.
This is now 3 consecutive books with apes in them from different companies, and all intentional. None of these books we picked because they had apes in them.
No, it's a wheel. It's just that we have a lot of ape-centric books on that wheel.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to avoid. I mentioned this before, but there's a period in the 60s where DC had a mandate that there couldn't be more than, I think, 1 book a month with an ape on the cover because it was just something that every writer and artist was going to because they knew it would sell. Man,
being a hack was a lot easier back then.
I found the poster.
You found it?
Let's see it.
There it is. That's it. That is it. And I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that was like real official, like pre-production, like pre-production artwork.
I loved when they gave us a trailer and Sonic looked like a horrible little monster, and the internet community roasted it so hard they spent another $2 million fixing it. I
kind of wish they would have kept it because I wasn't going to see it either way, so it might as well be an abomination.
No, the new one looked great. That was a good movie. You should check it out. Put it on while you're weightlifting or something.
I know it looks better, but I don't want it to. First of all,
you wanted a train wreck.
I want it because I don't care about Sonic. Listen. People have tried for like 25 years to make Sonic something other than just a cute video game. Like there's a fan community for Sonic that is trying to put like drama and pathos in Sonic, and it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, it does. I just told you the movie was good.
The movie is not high drama. It's silly.
Yeah, it's very silly.
It's silly. But if you watch like these video games and stuff, they're taking it very seriously.
Oh,
like they're trying to make it dramatic, and it doesn't work. And so I have no real. I enjoyed the early games when I was a kid, but like I have no affinity for it. So yeah, if they're gonna make it a train wreck, absolutely. And also my other reason for me not wanting them to change it was because it gives fans way too much power.
They're the guys spending their money.
I mean,
I gotta agree with Mike there.
I do think that there should. Yeah, but when does that end? Like how many times
when capitalism fucking ends, that's when it stops.
How do I know it would go this route?
Jesus. They're just trying to make money, dude. There's no artistic. There's none of that. If you want that, go watch Japanese movies. They don't seem to give a fuck.
Yeah, I do like a good Kurosawa.
Yeah, bro. They made other movies besides that, though.
I'm just gonna go watch a Serbian film again.
I'm gonna pick Kurosawa, the movie that was released like 50 years ago.
Well, that's not a movie; it's a person. So I'm really not sure what you're referring to.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Yojimbo. I was thinking of the guy who made it.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about a famed director.
He made some stuff.
That's objectively true. Yes, can't deny that he made
some stuff.
He's cool.
He did. Of all the stuff that got made, he made some of them.
That's such a good movie. They remade it twice. Yojimbo.
Yeah, and then they based a rabbit character in the Ninja Turtles franchise around him.
Oh yeah, did you guys see the Bruce Willis version of Yojimbo?
No.
It's called Last Man Standing. It was a mobster movie.
Apparently, we can't make fun of Bruce Willis anymore.
Why?
He's dying. Because he's dying.
He's not dying. He's got like memory issues. That's what happens when you get old.
It's not memory. It's language processing.
His brain is eating itself. Like he's going to die.
He's all right.
Soon.
I mean, whatever. He lived a good life.
Yeah, you got to be an asshole to fucking everybody.
Yeah, but it's my dream.
Yeah,
I had to create an unpopular podcast to get that.
This is a guy who did a few good movies and then just decided he was going to do shit for the rest of his career, shit on everybody, even though he's really kind of the weak link. And now that he's sick, we all have to just pretend he was a great guy the whole time.
No, I don't. No, fuck him. I don't give anybody. I don't. What's you guys' favorite Bruce Willis movie?
Probably Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, Shée?
I don't know.
Is it 12 Monkeys?
Oh, that's
I've
a
never seen
good
12
one.
Monkeys.
Ooh, that's a really good movie. Good, man. It's a tie between 12 Monkeys and Death Becomes Her.
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Man, back when he made an effort. He was decent when he made an effort.
Dude, he was amazing in that movie. That was probably his best acting was Death Becomes Her.
Well, I mentioned this before briefly, but yeah, for the last few years, what he was doing is like he's so adamant that he will only work for one day at a time, that any movie that he's working on, they have to shoot every part of his scene, all of his scenes in one day, in one like 10-hour day or whatever. And so that's why he does these. Yeah, that's why he does all these low budget direct to DVD movies, because like big budget movies are like, dude, we're not going to spend millions of dollars to have you come in for 10 hours. It's not worth our time. But for these little B movies, it raises their profile.
I think he was casted in a Woody Allen movie, and he was fired the first day of shooting because he didn't know any of his lines.
Oh, like Kramer?
Did Kramer
Kramer was fired because he shattered a glass and it cut up Woody Allen's face or something.
That's pretty funny.
I'm going to go with Fifth Element.
Oh, that's a good one,
yeah.
too. He's just Bruce Willis in it, though.
So,
All right, fair.
It's not Hudson
like
Hawk.
Tin Cup is a pretty enjoyable movie, but Kevin Costner's just Kevin Costner in it.
Yeah, Kevin Costner is always just Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
he's
always a baseball player. I don't care what movie I'm watching; it's just Kevin Costner is playing a baseball player playing this.
Even when he's like, what was the one where the postman? He's still a baseball player.
He's still a baseball player. Waterworld, post-apocalyptic baseball player that's a pirate now.
Yeah. It's in his contract that any role where he is not a baseball player, there has to be a scene where he sits in a chair and contemplates what his life would have been like had he gotten to be a baseball player.
People used to think he was like an actor to take seriously. Remember?
Yeah, he had a moment.
Remember? He did Field of Dreams and he did Dances with Wolves. I'm sure.
Well, he also directed and wrote, or just directed?
I'm sure neither of those movies hold up.
Well, but didn't he make Wyatt Earp just to spite them making Tombstone? Like somebody was making Tombstone.
Yeah.
He got kicked off of it or some shit like that, or he was supposed to be involved with it and he didn't, so he just threw together Wyatt Earp instead and released it at the same time.
So what? Tombstone. We got Kurt Russell instead. Much better.
Yeah. All right. I'm all for making this long, but this is getting super long.
It's Tombstone, the I'm Your Huckleberry movie?
Yes. Yes, it is. Val Kilmer
Huckleberry?
Before he turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Man. R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Still
He's
alive.
not dead.
No, he's not dead.
Oh, well.
He can't talk anymore.
Maybe
but
by
he's
the
not
time
dead.
this... Hopefully him and Bruce Willis die killing each other.
Yes.
Die well.
But which of them do you want to die first, though?
I got it, Mike. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a callback.
No, I'd have Kilmer take out Bruce Willis.
Fuck yeah, of course.
yeah,
but he dies shortly after.
Yeah, of
Bruce
course, they're
Willis
both
pulled
gonna
out
die.
his throat thing.
Okay, all right. So Nefaria says he tells Professor Xavier and Beast that he's got this. He's going to blow up the world, and he can totally do it unless all the different nations of the world give him whatever amount they can afford to.
I love how reasonable he is. He's like,
Yes.
I want them to pay based off of how much they can give.
Yeah, I'm not evil.
It's like we're
It's also-
blackmailing the world.
It's also pragmatic because it's like, dude, you can't ask. You can't ask Sweden for $500 billion. Like they don't have it. Like
No, they
what are
don't
they gonna
have it.
do?
He puts
It
them on a
just causes
payment plan.
problems. Yeah. So Beast is like, all right, well, let's put together a team. And Xavier says, nah.
Well, no, the first he's like, all right, let's call the Avengers. And they're like, yeah, they're not picking up their phones. I'm like, all right, let's call the Fantastic Four. They're not picking up their phone either. Do they not know that this is happening? I mean, they probably got the same television broadcast.
Also, why would they not pick up their fucking phones if they're
The implication
superheroes?
is they're busy.
What about Alpha Flight? What are they doing, huh?
Canadian, we don't want them.
They're
we
just
don't,
eating pancakes and
Yeah, we gotta.
they're calling and asking about Wolverine.
Yeah, we just.
I'm like, what happened to him?
What about Spider-Man?
Yeah, what's Spider-Man? What's Spider-Man gonna do?
What is Spider-Man
web
gonna
up the
do?
nuclear
Yeah.
weapons?
Accidentally slice up his foot and have to stop.
How's he
Take a break?
gonna get there?
Yeah.
Like
Take
his
the
powers
bus?
his powers are worthless outside of New York City.
Well, if I can sell a few more pictures of JJJ, I might be able to save up enough cab fare to get over there by next week.
Yeah. He's a terrible person to call for this.
Yeah, he's not helpful. I think Alpha Flight, they just throw some like low level threats at them just to make them feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to leave the country because of COVID restrictions.
So they say to Xavier, like, well, you're gonna have to put together a new team of X-Men using Cerebro. And Xavier says, like, nah, I can kill like 13 kids, but like at 15 they start looking into you. So
He's
I'm not gonna do
basically
it.
like, no, I don't wanna, and then wheels away.
This is before he had that floating wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He's walking around though later.
Oh yeah, it's a total work, absolutely.
Like they and throughout the history of X-Men comics, he like regains his ability to walk and then loses it over and over and over again.
It's a great plot point.
He's pretending. One time he thought he could walk, but really it was just Magneto in secret moving his legs around.
That was in Morrison's run, and the idea and it was a great idea, but there's a huge flaw in it. So the idea was Magneto was believed dead, and he was disguised as Zorn, and Zorn was hanging out.
Oh yes,
in the
Zorn.
mansion, and so Magneto disguised as Zorn was actually activating like the iron levels in Professor Xavier's legs to make him think that he could walk. But the problem here is, wouldn't Wolverine smell all of this?
Yeah. Yeah,
He'd
when he
smell all
smell, yeah, when he's
What do you mean smell?
he'd smell Magneto. He'd be like,
knows
"That's
Magneto's
Magneto."
smell. Or he would probably smell like the raised iron levels in Professor Xavier's blood.
He's smoking so much though.
Yeah.
Does he have a heightened sense of smell?
Oh,
he's got animal senses.
Yeah, he does. Also, so after it was revealed that Zorn was Magneto, the fans threw such a hissy fit because they came to like Zorn so much that after Morrison was gone, they had to create a new Zorn so the fans could have their way. This is what I'm talking about. This is why fan entitlement is out of control.
It's whatever. What did Xavier just wake up one day and he can't feel his legs, but someone's moving him around? Like, how does Magneto know where he's going?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
if he's like moving his legs like a marionette,
he's monitoring the whole time. He's
How
standing
the
behind
fuck-
him.
Also, yeah, does that mean that when he's not around, Charles can't walk?
yeah, right.
I mean, he just stuck around all the time. He was always there.
Can you write to Morrison and ask them these things?
Why didn't he
Yeah.
read Zorn's mind and realize it's his good buddy? Wouldn't he have like a psychic imprint of his friend?
This was during the time when he was pretending he wasn't reading people's minds.
Well,
Dumb.
didn't Zorn have like a helmet or something? Isn't that
Zorn
why
did
he
have a
didn't-
helmet
Oh, yeah,
and
he
a
did.
star for a brain.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
I
Zorn
read a
was
very
cool
adorable
character.
comic explaining his history once.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he was cool in the Ultimate Universe.
yeah. So Beast decides, all right, well, I guess I can just use this thing, and he straps on Cerebro.
Immediately scrambles his brains and he shits himself.
Yes,
And then,
Well,
then James comes by to clean it up.
yes.
What really happened here?
That wasn't quite what happened. So he decides to call the remaining mutants in the world, and he
Somehow,
calls,
how is he using the Cerebro without psychic powers?
he says he's one of the best at this. He says he's second
what the
only
fuck?
to
He has no psychic powers.
I don't
You
know.
just use it? You just randomly just use it?
Yeah, I guess so.
So
And
it gives you psychic powers.
it
So they invented a
amplifies.
machine to give people psychic powers.
Yeah, but he's keeping it for himself.
And now that Xavier's sad, nobody gets it.
Nobody can use it.
Mine.
And so, the first person he calls is Scarlet Witch, who's on vacation with the
Not
Vision.
just vacation, honeymoon.
Honeymoon. She just married the Vision, who at this point is a Speedo man who looks like the devil.
She did what every woman wishes she could do, marries their sentient vibrator.
Yes. I don't recall this phase in the Vision's evolution where he was just a completely red-skinned dude wearing black trunks. But
Man,
that's what
you
he's
are
doing.
not competing with that dude.
Well, he's a synthzoid. He's made to be perfect. I can't. Yeah, of course I can't compete with that.
Right.
You
There
know?
you go.
So they call Scarlet Witch, and Vision's like, "Well, I'll come too." And Scarlet Witch says, "That's cute," and leaves.
She's like,
without him.
nah, you can't come with, even though you're
Nah.
basically God.
No.
But he's not a mutant.
Is that why you can't go? But yeah, but wouldn't his
Business.
powers be invaluable in this mission?
No. Only mutants, bro.
Because like they try to call the Avengers, right? Because they were not busy, but
Yeah.
there's two of them right there, and one of them isn't coming for no reason.
Well, because it's now it's officially an X-Men mission that has to be all mutants for legal purposes, or else they're gonna get sued.
Because like he could solve this crisis by himself.
Right. You have to understand this whole X-Men thing is a house of cards. There's a lot of legal problems with this.
Like the Vision is more powerful than all the X-Men.
Maybe, I don't know. And then they call Quicksilver and Crystal, the Inhuman Crystal. And Quicksilver's like, well, I'm tired of living with you Inhumans who don't accept me for being a natural-born mutant instead of a transmorphed Inhuman, so I'm going to go deal with this thing.
Yeah, like, sorry, I know you're a mutant too, but same thing about Spider-Man. You just got your powers in a different way, and we're very racist about it.
I was about to ask.
Yeah. It's really weird for like the whole idea. Xavier's like, yeah, we all have to live in peace, but not any mutants who got their powers after they were born.
Right. Well, how come they all don't just go live with the Inhumans?
I don't know. Well, the Inhumans, I think we saw this before. The Inhumans didn't seem to quite accept Quicksilver because maybe I'm making this up, but I seem to recall the Inhumans didn't quite accept Quicksilver because he was a mutant and not an Inhuman.
Yeah, and
technically.
Then they try to call Namor, but he's not picking up his psychic phone, so it just goes to his cousin because that's how that works.
Namor has a little shell with a cord on the end of it.
There's like a fucking so I'm guessing the psychic phone call has a redirect to just whoever's.
It just goes through DNA to the next of kin.
It goes through the emergency contact list.
Yeah. And so it calls Nemarita, who I've also never heard of before.
Great name.
And she seems fucking insufferable. She speaks in pop culture catchphrases like everyone I meet nowadays. Very ahead of her time.
You don't meet nobody. Don't be lying.
Well, I've met a person or two over the past 5 years. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's like riding around on a giant turtle because she's a fucking boss.
Right. Well, I imagine the turtle's not particularly speedy, so it's kind of just
and it's
cruising.
enslaved by this woman.
Well, why is she riding around underwater on the turtle? Like you can just
because
float.
It's fucking sick.
I guess. She says, "Oh yeah, I guess I'll go."
So okay, all right. So they won't let the Vision and they won't let the Inhumans come help because they're not the right kind of mutant. But she's not. But she's also a different kind of mutant, not their kind of way. But she's cool to come with.
Well, underwater it's flip flopped, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of rules about this.
Well, wasn't Namor called the first mutant?
Yes. Yeah, but he's not a mutant because he has the X gene. He's a mutant because his father fucked a sea lady.
I've been there.
So he's a mutant in that kind of a way. He's a flipper, baby.
So Beast is like, yeah, I guess. Sure, come along.
He just gets an image of her in the bikini. He's like, fuck yeah, brah. They wouldn't let the Vision in because they didn't want it to be a sausage fest.
Like, I need to narrow down the competition around here.
Here we see, like, Beast goes blind using this machine.
It's fucking murdering him to be in Cerebro. Just like take it off and do it again.
Sometimes he's covered in fur and sometimes he's not. Like here he's just a blue guy.
He's just a blue guy. And we find out that what he did, another cool thing that Cerebro can do is tap into the DNA of previous mutants. So he's using Nightcrawler's powers to then teleport them all to where they need to go.
Well, before he does that, like he despite being helping to be responsible for killing her father, they find Banshee's daughter who's hanging out with her creepy uncle who dresses
and
like
that's
Dracula.
Siren, you said.
Yeah, that's Siren, but they don't call her that in the comic.
And she's keeping that plunging V-neck alive.
It's the only clothes they have in the house. It's a family tradition.
Just had to wear, Banshee's old costume.
Yeah, it's like they open the closet. That's all it is.
And
is this like these like flight suits?
Yeah, it's just weird costumes.
It was funny. Like back in the day, like that was like a sci-fi thing, like wearing a suit that allows you to glide. But now, like you can buy one and actually use it.
Yeah,
a lot of daredevils are killed using them.
Yeah, Batman uses one for a moment in his in the new movie, and he completely fucking eats it.
Well, spoilers.
It's a 5-second sequence. It's very
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's been out for over a month, so
I'm not going to no theater.
I don't have to respect spoilers for people after a movie is a.
I'm not spending no $30. I'm not spending no $30 for no theater.
Also, it's not a spoiler. It takes place like 45 minutes into the movie.
I'm not
it's
doing
not a big
that.
deal. She's gonna go, and then we find that what was his name? Thunderbird. Thunderbird had a brother.
Yes.
And he's very angry about the fact that his brother got killed.
Yeah, as he should.
And what's this guy's name?
James Proudfoot. Yeah.
Yep.
Proud lineage of Jameses. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a X-Force guy, a New Mutant / X-Force guy.
Okay. And so Beast shows up in the sky and has a
Yep.
conversation with him.
Yep.
And he says, well, I'd really like to kill this Professor Xavier. And Beast is like, well, yeah, I can hook you up with that after the
He's
fact,
like,
but-
well, if you help me do this thing, I mean, he's been a real pill lately, so that would actually do me a favor because I want to go back to my job.
I mean, to tell you the truth, this motherfucker can't even stand up. So
He
it's gonna
gave
be
me
easy.
a rubber fucking human suit because he said he couldn't, quote, stand the smell of me.
Nobody's buying it, by the way. Nobody's buying it.
Fuck this dude.
He humored me. He made me think it looked seamless. It's
He,
fucking
like-
ridiculous.
He like psychically like Beast like gets in contact with James Proudfoot, and he goes, "Oh, Beast, are you calling me to join the new X-Men?" He goes, "No, I need you to help me kill Professor Xavier. I figured you got some beef with him."
we could work something out. We can work out a little deal.
All right. Yep.
I don't know why Beast didn't just do this in 2 sessions.
I
So
don't
he
know.
he insists on doing this all at once, and everything explodes. And Professor X says, "Man, I just cannot stop getting mutants killed.
He's just like, man, I knew I shouldn't have hooked Cerebro up to all this dynamite.
Why did I teach him how to use it? He doesn't even have
Why-
psychic powers."
Why would it explode? Is there like a hydrogen tank next to it? Is there like propane? This is a propane powered psychic machine?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, nobody was wiping the tank down, so it got some grease in it.
Like they're killed, right? Beast and Rain are dead, and then Mora McTaggart was like, "Professor Xavier, did you get more mutants killed?" He goes, "No, they teleported away."
They're gone. They're
The next
somewhere far
scene
They
away.
is
went
all-
to a special farm in upstate.
Yeah, in Colorado.
for mutants.
Uh,
Yeah, so apparently Cerebro, when piloted by a non-psychic, can just teleport people to anywhere in the world they want.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? They
Yeah,
just
great.
borrowed Nightcrawler's
Great.
DNA,
Great. I'm sure people would love mutants if they, released all this technology.
and apparently it would only transport mutants. And Rain came too, which is how Rain finds out that she's a filthy mutie freak
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So they're all here, and we get to meet all of them. They are not trained as fighters,
Nope.
but
Well,
why not?
so Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch,
That's true.
they know how to. They're former X-Men, and
Yeah, but
the
Namorita,
Beast knows what he's doing. Namorita was probably trained to fight by her cousin Namor. She knows what's up. There's a lot of trained folks here.
Banshee's
Yeah.
just flying around. Banshee's not.
She was
never
being
fought
trained
anybody.
by Black Tom Cassidy in the previous
All right,
scene,
Fine. All right. I
and he's
don't know
a
what able to do.
known fighter guy.
So they arrive at Count Nefaria's headquarters, which I don't know how they knew where to go, but all right, fine.
This is weird about Scarlet Witch's powers. So what she does is she finds a situation somewhere out in the multiverse
Mm-hmm.
that is close to what she's going through, and whatever desired
Outcome.
whatever desired outcome that exists somewhere, she makes that her reality.
Now, that seems like a massive ethical issue.
Now, why didn't she just like make it so this particular situation just wasn't happening?
I mean, maybe she can only reach very similar universes.
I guess
rather
maybe it
than-
has to be right in front of her face. Like, I'm gonna move this guy, have this guy trip on something.
I mean, you have to imagine that anyone who knows that this is going on, has to just think like, well, life is completely meaningless.
Yeah, well, it is.
Like, it doesn't matter what I do. Well, you've
Right.
got proof here that like it's
Yep.
just whatever. I'm only everything that I could possibly do is happening in another universe. So why does it matter what I'm doing in this one?
That's how I feel.
Yeah,
Like but I look at it more like, hey, nothing matters, so like chill.
there are some upstanding mics in the alternate universes.
You know,
We're gonna get one of them for the podcast.
yeah, you're gonna pull it. You're gonna use Scarlet Witch powers to
Yeah,
pull.
we're gonna audition.
I'm
some
an
different-
upstanding Mike. I'm pretty good now.
Are you one of the better ones?
Yeah,
He's one of the good- he's one of the good
yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun back in the day.
In the multiverse of mics, Doctor Strange and the multiverse of mics.
Right? They're all just like playing games in their house.
Yeah, and they're all just on the Xbox,
Right? They're really concerned about their physique for no reason.
watching 20-year-old Stone Cold Steve Austin matches.
They're like, "Why are you getting in shape for?" Like, "Oh, I just want to look good." Like for dating? Oh, I don't date.
Yeah, can't be
What are you-
bothered.
What are you
Clearly,
doing?
I'm very busy. I can't be going out.
I can't be spending money on dates. That's like $100
So,
on nothing.
on a good time with a good person.
Fuck that.
Yeah, there's no good people.
I'd rather have the $100.
Nobody worth meeting. just stay in and listen to this podcast.
I think that was a Mr. Burns quote. I'd rather have the $100.
I'd rather have the I'd be happier with the dollar. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
It was
happier with the
$1.
dollar.
It wasn't even $100. It was $1.
That is me though. Sometimes, like even earlier today, I was like, man, you know what? I think I should treat myself and go out and get a slice of pizza. I go, no, I think I'd rather keep the $2.
Alternate universe Mike wears a top hat. He's just money's coming out of all of his pockets. Just enjoying it, just throwing it at people.
Right. I built a bigger table.
One of
Instead
my
higher walls.
If I ever had just fuck you weird money, one of the things I would love to do is walk into like a car dealership, just really nonchalant, and then when they come up, just like point at the nearest car, just go, yeah, I guess that one. It's really nonchalant, and just like get into it and drive away and be in and out in like 5 minutes, like I'm buying a sandwich at
That
7-Eleven.
happens. That happens with broke people.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they took too much PPP money, and now the IRS is coming calling, and they got to sell their cars.
That's called coke dealers. That's what they do. Or
Yeah.
Arabs.
Yeah, but they have a sustainable business model. Stealing money
born
from
into an oil royalty.
stealing money from the PPP program is not sustainable. That's dried up. That money's gone.
A lot of people made that work. I know
I made
Tom
it
Brady
work.
did.
As a self-employed
Isn't that crazy?
person,
Tom Brady got bailout money for
Yeah,
COVID.
a lot
Tom
of people
Brady.
did.
Why the fuck would Tom Brady even like apply for that? What a cunt.
It was I had a good little bit of pocket change to keep the wheels spinning for a while.
Yeah, but you're a lower middle class man.
I am not lower middle class. Well,
I
say
knew that.
I'll say that on the podcast.
That was a trap, dude. That was a trap. I wanted to see how upset you'd get by saying that.
Oh,
You
yeah,
fucking snob.
very upset. Well, no, it's I've earned my place, and I'm gonna be fucking proud of it. But honestly, what was surprising to me is that Mike's definition of lower middle class is way off base.
I was just fucking with you.
Lower middle
That's
class
all I
is
was
what,
doing.
like 40,000? What is? What
Yeah, I'm
is
sure
lower middle
you
class?
know.
I know what the class tiers are. I
Yes.
keep everything in check.
Yes.
I
That's
don't.
the joke that you know.
Let's
You're
keep in
always-
mind, I was
you're such a
born
classist,
fucking
bro.
poor.
I know, and that's what. And who says that? Millionaires who don't share.
I am not a millionaire,
I'm just teasing, bro.
but soon. As soon as I can be done with this fucking show, done with this fucking podcast, and move on with a valuable life.
No, this is what's gonna make us our money, bro. We're gonna
Yeah,
be one of
yeah.
those shows that has. So, what's the thing where people give you money? What's that called?
Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon. We'll have
Oh.
that. People we'll just see that like just being filled with money.
The fact that you're not sure what a Patreon is called is concerning.
I'm
That's
gonna let
alarming.
you and Shée deal with all that.
Yeah, I'll just deal with all that.
I'm not interested.
So then they fight an ape. That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an ape man wearing a singlet.
And the ape is kind of racist. He attacks Proudstar, the Native American, and calls him Red Man.
Yeah, he does, but he's a gorilla.
Is he thinking of the Wu-Tang member?
I don't think that.
He
Yeah,
might just be a racist gorilla.
but I mean, he's a gorilla though, so I mean, he just doesn't like human beings.
Well, he
Well,
was
we
a
find
person,
out
wasn't
they,
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah,
was.
yeah.
They used to just be wearing costumes, but now Count Nefaria had actually turned them into monsters, and this was
Somehow.
apparently this was a bargaining chip that actually enticed them to work with Count Nefaria more devoutly.
Yeah, but then they were
Exactly.
like, when we're done with this mission, you promised to turn us back.
You
Like,
promise you're gonna undo this? You promise, Count Nefaria?
What do you think he's listening to in his headphones there? The
Black
gorilla
Flag.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a Black
Some old
Flag.
Black
some
Flag
fucking
albums. Yeah.
some Minor Threat. Listening to some hard. He's like
A little
slam
fucking-
dancing his way through the X-Men.
Some Fugazi, Red Medicine, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they get in a fight. Things progress as you would expect. We get a moment to see everybody
Yeah,
kind
we
of do
guess
their
so.
best.
You can tell we've done a lot of these comics and we're just like the action sequences. Like
Well, how do you
you all know
describe-
what they are. You know what
It's-
a
it's
Marvel
like-
Comics action sequence looks like.
It's like when Bart Simpson is reading the Itchy and Scratchy movie adaptation, like the book. Like no, like you don't want to listen to a podcast describing the action in a comic book.
The best movie to two book adaptation I ever read was the Austin Powers book.
Really?
Yeah, that is a hilarious book.
Oh yeah, is it dramatically different from the movie?
No, it's just there's a lot of like narration to it that's like fucking really bizarre.
I read the Spawn adaptation, and that book was clearly written long before the movie was finished, because there's whole like sections of the book that are not in the, like, crucial parts of the story that are not in the movie. It's weird because they got to start writing that stuff like a long time in advance, and then everything changes in the script phase.
Yeah,
Weird.
but they're like, no one's reading the novel anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, I was a nerd.
Yeah, you and I were.
Read a lot of books. And then there's a point where they mention that this whole thing is pointless, because they say it's clear that Count Nefaria is bluffing, and even Beast is like, oh yeah, absolutely, he can't blow up the world. And none of this is true.
Like, while the X-Men are all doing this, Professor Xavier figures out how to turn off all the machines with his brain.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Fine. Whatever.
Like, is that how his powers work?
Yeah, his powers work however they need to.
I thought he wasn't. I thought he wasn't telekinetic, and he could just read minds and then take over their minds.
I mean, I guess maybe with Cerebro's help. I don't know, man. His weird printer, maybe.
Cerebro blew up.
Oh, it did. Well, he still had his printer, whatever that did.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, anyway, they acknowledge the fact that there's no way he can blow up the world. He couldn't, and he won't. So what's the point of endangering all these people's lives?
Now this is just his fetish.
Yeah, got to keep
risking mutants' lives and feeling bad about it.
Yeah, got to keep Norway from having to pony up a few bucks.
I like how Beast just kept his slacks on from earlier.
He kept his slacks on, which is really probably hurting his mobility.
I mean, no, he's got those stretchy jeans. Them shit.
You know what? I have a couple pair of stretchy jeans now, and man alive, I'm not going back.
I know, right? I resisted it as well, and now that's all the jeans I buy.
They're fantastic. They feel
a little
great.
bit of that spandex in it, dude. That's the way to go.
And you feel it hugging your calf, and you know that you've been really working it well.
Fuck yeah, dude. You look good.
Yeah, you look good. You feel good.
Fuck yeah.
I might throw some Spanx in there too.
Fuck,
yeah.
I will too.
Yeah,
why not?
Really. Get it high and tight.
Yep.
All the women's tricks. Taking them all. I want them all. So yeah, the fight progresses, and then like a mosquito lady. I don't know who this lady is. She's like a.
Turns out like
witch.
all she needed to do was just like hypnonize everybody. She's really good at it.
This fight went on for a while, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my one power. I'll just hypnotize everybody, make them do what I want them to do."
Yep.
So yeah, Charles Xavier has destroyed the bomb that wasn't ever going to get turned on anyway. I'm really unsure of what the idea was here.
Right. But, and so like he's just like, like Rain's still there. And turns out she's a wolf girl that they never explained earlier. And he's like, I'm going to have her turn into a wolf and kill a woman.
Yeah. So he decides to start grooming Rain because he's going to jail anyway. So who cares? So he just jumps into her head and like, hey, what's up?
He's like, hey, turn into a wolf and kill a woman. She's like, all right. And she does.
She does.
She's dead.
Yeah, she turns into a wolf. She just kills Mosquito Lady.
And here Beast is enraged knowing that Professor Xavier has used a child to murder someone.
Yeah, and so he beats up the ape man.
Yeah, and Beast punches the ape man and says to him, wrong kind of mutant.
See your mutant papers. Yeah, okay. So they kind of wrap things up. Meanwhile, Count Nefaria wants to get in his jet and fly away.
Yeah, because he knows how to fly a jet. Like that's easy. Like you don't need a ground crew or nothing.
Well, he's a count, you know.
It's just he's got a monocle.
Something he used to learn.
Instead of being one of those weird ass rich people that races cars, he races jet planes.
It's like he doesn't have a air supply like you.
This isn't fucking Top Gun.
It's the jet. He's flying a high speed jet.
How hard could it be? I saw Wonder Woman 1984. You just sit behind her and you fucking grab controls. It works out fine.
No, it's really difficult.
It's easy.
That's so funny.
And so it's Banshee Lady and one of the others who go and they blow up his ship, presumably murdering Count Nefaria in the process.
Yeah, but Count Nefaria is dead. They kill him. There's a lot of death.
Well, X-Men don't seem to care as much about murder. They're pretty much okay with
they
that.
did bring in Wolverine. That's all he was known for.
Remember, his job interview where he's just saying, I kill a lot of people and I don't care who.
He's like, I killed probably the most people out of everyone you've talked to for this interview so far.
I was in the Civil War on both sides.
Yeah.
I just loved killing.
He's like, I think I should hire you for the X-Men.
You can lead them. I don't give a shit. It did have a great theme song.
Yeah. That show was sick.
That was a pretty solid show.
Oh, it's a great theme song.
That's why I probably didn't like the movies, is because like I watched the show, and you're not competing with that.
There's no morph.
Yeah, right.
You had to have
It's just
morph
you're not
in there.
competing with it. There's no way. That show is so colorful and so all over the place. You're not gonna compete with that.
It was pretty loony for a kids show. Like where it
Yeah.
went. It was pretty crazy.
I loved it. Every
So,
episode was about how Wolverine's having a serious crisis of some kind.
You really think he'd be more zen by this point in his life?
He got a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
That
Apparently
poor guy.
therapy doesn't work if it's
He's
been
always
this many
being
years.
triggered.
Yeah, something's constantly going wrong. He's constantly looking at a picture of Jean Grey, just pissed off.
He's like, "Oh no, I remember," and then they'd have to go deal with him remembering shit.
My life.
I just want to be alone.
So
Chill,
I joined
dude.
a team. Just like my solitude, so I joined a team.
What if he was more like a dog and he just had a really short memory?
Yeah, yeah.
He's just
gets so
happy.
excited. He's excited. He's excited to be a part of something. So, Proud Star, he grabs Banshee, keeps her from dying, and that kind of seals their bond.
Yeah, but she's just like, hey, maybe try to remember my fucking name next time.
Yeah, he doesn't.
How do you like that?
respect women at all.
He saves her life and she bitches at him for
Well,
something.
Well, they've been bitching this whole time, in fairness.
I guess.
Then Professor X's head shows up and says, I've led you all to victory. Good job, me.
He's like, it wasn't
Yes.
Beast at all. It was me. I was actually controlling Beast this whole time. Ha ha.
I was doing
I wanted
everything.
you to think that you didn't need my help, but really it was just a plan to get you here together to be the X-Men. And immediately two of them were like, I don't want to be in the X-Men.
Yeah.
In one panel, Professor X completely changes his tune and goes, you know what? How about another X-Men team? Good times
What
to
an
charm.
excellent victory for me, Professor Xavier, and my team, my X-Men.
Yeah, so
He's
a
just
couple
like,
of them,
actually, most of us are in the Avengers.
yeah, you haven't spoken with any of us.
And I'm a
really.
child. Not with the blood on your hands, Missy.
No, you're going to have to be lying to Child Protective Services for a while now. So he talks to all of them, and then Proud Star is like, well, I was really angry at you for killing my brother, but I guess I'm going to forgive you and join the team. And Professor Xavier goes, yeah, I already knew that. I was reading your mind.
He put that in his mind.
Yes. Yeah. He just, like, again, I remember multiple times Professor Xavier always used to say, I will never look at someone's mind without their permission. And he does it like 3 times in this book.
Well,
and
this
never
is an alternate
apologizes.
universe.
Well, like Xavier, like he is like scanning their minds, right? Like, well, this is gonna be my new X-Men because they're a bunch of winners, unlike that last group that died in their first mission, losers. He says, no, but these
Iceman.
guys are winners, and he's scanning their minds, and he gets to James Proudfoot, and he's just like, oh, doesn't like me there. Let's just tweak that and fix that real quick. And oh, he likes me just fine. Thinks his brother died a hero. Yes, yeah, it's very useful.
Something I've just realized, I am God.
And he's like, oh, Beast, you think you want to be in the Avengers still? He goes, no, I don't want to be in the Avengers still. He goes, yeah, you don't, of course.
Beasts hate the Avengers.
And I goes, all right, Dr. McTaggart, stay as my housekeeper. Okay.
That's got to be, I mean, it has to be not satisfying after a while.
She's
They
just,
just
look at that
control
blank stare
everybody.
she has behind Professor Xavier, totally under his control.
And after he finishes getting all these guys to agree to join the X-Men, he just disappears and leaves them lost in Colorado. And Beast is like, oh, yeah, this shit.
He's like, yeah, we got to hitch a ride.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, I
Look at,
guess we're walking.
look at Ray in the bottom panel. Like, look at her
Yeah.
little outfit. She's like, yeah,
She's having a... So,
I'm an X-Man.
so yeah.
She's 7.
She's... So this ends with the Watcher going like, yeah, pretty good story, huh?
And he's
Look at
and
these
watches
nuance.
it.
I like that the Watcher essentially just takes this opportunity to list the never-ending spin-offs from the
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah, he mentions there's always going to be an X-Men and an X-Factor and a New Mutants and Excalibur.
And he's even fat. Maybe I tell you why they did this. They made him super fat so that we don't confuse his floating head with Professor Xavier's floating
Yes.
head.
100%.
Same head, yes.
There's like a bunch of empty pudding cans all around him. I just need a little snack. My blood sugar was low.
And then we see, the new X-Men, the new shitty lineup of Namorita, Lady Banshee, new Proud Star Thunderbird, Beast, and Lady Rain, little girl Rain.
Little tiny child Rain.
She is 2.5 feet tall. Yeah.
She is.
She looks like a dwarf.
Yeah. So that's the end of the main
Is that
story.
right?
Yeah.
Can I say dwarf, or is that
I think
bad?
you're supposed to say little person now.
It
but-
changes
but-
really quickly.
But there's also, I think, different, like a dwarf there's actually a difference between I think there's a difference between a dwarf and a little person. Like it has to do with the different ways that
This
their
is a
limbs grow.
great time to Google as opposed to Googling for was Stanley in the military.
Difference.
Just look up, what do you call
between
midgets? Just look that up.
No, I'm not putting that in my search history. And little person, because I think it has to do with like the limbs. Terms person of short stature, little person, and dwarf are commonly used in the United States to refer to a person with a medical condition called dwarfism. Oh, well, maybe I guess you can't say
Here
dwarf.
we go. Oh, the preferred terms. Here we go. That's what we want.
It depends on, it's, well, where are we looking?
No. The first up
Yeah.
on top, there's a link, and it just with the rest. We just need to see what the rest of the quote is.
Washington.edu says
Many people. There we go. Yes.
many people who experience dwarfism prefer the term little person. but it
There we
seems to be
go.
Based on your community, but
There
I
we
do
go.
believe
Little person.
believe that like Danny DeVito is different from somebody who has very short, stubby arms and legs. Maybe
All I know is
don't
that we looked it up real quick, and the first site said little person. That's what we're going to use.
I feel like this was very scholarly. This was a very
Well,
academic.
Danny DeVito has a specific thing, doesn't he?
Nope,
I
he's
think
just
so.
short.
It's called being awesome. It's called
It's called being
based old
hysterical.
man. Yes.
It's called carrying. It's called the ability to carry a shitty Tim Burton movie.
Danny, I have to tell you, you are afflicted with being fucking based as shit.
Yeah.
What am I gonna
Yeah.
do, Doc?
Someone get him an oversized cigar.
Oh, it's horrible.
And
It's terrible.
and Wolverine waddles over to him because he's super short too. I got one. And then Danny DeVito looks at him and goes, "You fucking stink."
Danny DeVito is 4'10" due to having Fairbanks disease.
Oh, what did Rhea Perlman have?
What do you say did? She's still alive.
I know, but she may have gotten over it.
I prefer to call it fair-based disease. All right. Are you looking up Rhea Perlman, or are we just letting that one go?
I'm kind of curious if she had anything. I think she was just short and petite.
I think, I'm not seeing anything about her other than
Well,
that.
if I remember-
she's short.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think that under 4'11" is a little person for a man, but under 4'10" is a little person for a woman. So she may not technically be a little person.
Maybe that's why
She's
she.
5 foot even.
Maybe that's why she divorced Danny DeVito, because she found out he wasn't a real, like the kind of short person she was.
Oh, yeah.
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
X-Men.
Yeah, they have a lot of biases. But yeah.
They're like, I didn't know you had a condition.
Yeah, she
thought
doesn't
you were
have a
just
condition at
short.
all.
Well, in a fun twist, their daughter is 4'11". So
Aw, she
4'10", 4'11", 5 foot.
That makes
She
sense.
cute.
That makes sense. So that's the end of the main story. And then we got a couple of really quick, silly backups.
You got a Black Bolt, the Inhumans, farts really loudly in his sleep.
Yes. Yeah, it's what if Black Bolt
That's not
talked
what
in his sleep?
happened.
They actually give credits for these, even though it's only 3 panels. It's written by John Lewandowski, art by Vince Milcarek and Chris Ivey, and it's just 3 panels of what if Black Bolt tossed and turned in his sleep, and he did some mumbling, and he destroys their entire town.
And it ends with a terrible joke.
It also ends with the dog showing us his goods
Yeah.
for
Lo-
no reason.
Well, yeah, because it's dirty and needs somebody to come lick it up.
Like, he's just pointing it at us. Do you think the artist did that on purpose? Just be like,
What's
they will.
Black Bolt's dog again?
It's Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Thank you.
And you were gonna name a dog Woofle Woofle after the way that he gets around and the sounds he makes.
You wiffle wiffle.
Woofle Woofle.
Oh my god.
Lockjaw is he's the best.
Yeah.
he's-
there's,
he's
his,
the-
there's his butthole and balls, right?
Yep, his dirty old butthole.
You can't see his butthole.
Well, you
cleaned
can,
up.
you will in the YouTube when
Yeah,
I
in the YouTube
find
video.
a photo of dog's butthole and balls and I shop it in.
Damn
Yep.
it.
Yep. YouTube is fine
Oh
with
my
that. And we got
God.
one last little thing. What if the thing's body kept mutating? By Gary Fields and Joe Sinnott, and this is nothing. This is
Yeah. He just
I don't-
it's just all the different kinds of ways they've drawn him over the years.
yeah, and then a couple of speculative ones where he's just like a pure mountain.
Yep.
And I guess that's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it's super funny.
Yeah, it's really good.
They're just drawn, bro.
Yeah, I just had a couple pages to fill.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. What do we think of this?
I liked it. It was
Yeah.
fine. I got a lot of good bits out of it, and I didn't hate reading it. I like X-Men. I don't care.
I mean, if this was, it's a lot of the new characters I didn't like. They're just like the sons and brothers and nieces of other characters, and I never find that very interesting.
Well, most characters are usually have those familiar relations.
Yeah, but it's
some kind.
Nepotism.
Dull.
Yeah. Fucking
that's how you get
nepotism in the
there.
mutant community.
I know. Yeah.
They're
Shée, what'd
letting
you
in
think of it?
Namarito. She ain't even a real mutant. That's what they're saying. They're at
Yeah.
the water cooler. They're all pissed.
She drew on her eyebrows. Shée, what'd you think of this?
That's a lot of comic in one
It is
comic.
a lot of comic. I think this will be our long. Yeah, this is our longest episode.
Oh yeah, by far.
By like a half an hour.
This is why I deliberately didn't have any like bits or anything in this episode because like there's no fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was all right. I do applaud how much they got into this book, but if it were spread out, maybe. But it's a little too compressed, and the new characters don't interest me. I'll say 3 out of 5. Professor Xavier's bribing his way out of a federal investigation.
Where'd his money come from? Probably just controlling people's minds
just
and
telling
making
people to give him
withdrawals.
money. Yeah, seriously.
Well,
That's
he
what I would
came
do.
from money, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's how he
I
kept it.
I could believe a Professor Charles Xavier who got like 5 master's degrees probably has a little money behind him. Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right.
No money in STEM.
And so, unless it's stem cells, like you're getting from those sweet placentas.
Yeah,
A lot of money in that.
Yep. Get him out of Wolverine's cum.
All right. Yeah. Want to talk about what we're doing next time?
Yeah, sure.
think
Do we have any plans? Or are we just gonna go to the?
No, I think we're just going to the wheel again.
What do we have on the request wheel? We have a lot of those.
I don't think a ton, but like we can do a request wheel. Let's
We
see
can
what
just
got here.
alternate until we run out of them. We have a lot.
Yeah, it's just a few. We've got 8 things on the request wheel. We could spin that.
Yeah,
Is that what we want to do?
Whatever you guys want to do. What do you guys want to do?
Shea, what do you want?
Don't care.
Okay, let's go with the regular wheel, and then we'll do a request next time.
Yeah, fuck those people.
I'm just looking at my choices, and I'm like, I don't want to read any of those.
All right, here we go. Well, we've got 34 fantastic entries, each one more fantastic than the
Yeah,
last.
I want the ones I picked.
Yeah, and well, some of these are ones I picked. There's a few on there that I always get really worried because there's a handful of ones that I said like, I'll pick a specific issue of that particular comic, and I've never done it. And so every time we spin the wheel, I pray it doesn't land on one of those because I have not picked
Well,
anything
you
yet.
may have picked some of these, but I'm gonna stand lead and say I did.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, this is a Mike production.
Yep, I am.
Mike proudly
Yep.
presents.
I am also Shea and James.
Let's listen to some turn-in music while we spin this. Let's see what we got this episode.
Sweet.
Wheels Are Turning by REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Our
always
first-
a jam.
Our first wheel song request, which is good. 'cause
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm running out of options.
And Speedwagon has wheels.
Oh,
Yeah, they are a wheel-centric band.
Oh, Nicole Miller requested this.
thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thanks. Makes my job a little bit easier. Desperately trying to find more songs about fucking wheels,
How you like me remembering shit?
and I appreciate that.
I appreciate it as well.
34 inputs. It's 34 options. We've got Whisper. That's been on there for a while. We've got Mystery in Space. Star Wars. What's that about?
I have no idea.
All right, well, let's see what we got.
Yeah.
TMNT.
Come on, more Tech World.
Oh, boy. Oh!
hey! All right.
Yeah!
It's
It landed
actually
on the
one.
thing- it
I've
landed
been
on the
curious.
thing you just
The
said.
thing I said, Star Wars issue 2.
They're gonna think we planned it.
That was absolutely not planned.
Because we
That was
just brought it
absolutely not
up.
planned.
And we're like, what's that about? I don't know. We'll never land on it though. Oh, we did.
It's
They're
one
not gonna
that's,
believe
no,
us.
I swear to God, it was not planned. This is Star Wars. You can't say that word without sounding like an asshole.
Our listeners probably think we're so full of shit.
Oh, it's a request, it looks like.
Was it?
No,
oh,
it just says no. It's not a request.
no.
Oh yeah, no. It's there was a Twitter page I used to follow, or maybe I still do, called Heroes Punching 2099, and
Sure.
they just had it on there. They just had it on
Okay.
their thing, and I just stole
Oh.
Let's see what this looks like.
it. I just thought it looked cool.
The Star Wars.
So yeah, Heroes Punching 2099. If you still listen,
That's
I'm
another
stealing-
Marvel comic.
I'm stealing your posts.
Yeah, and taking credit for it, just like all this other
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
No, I put their name. I made sure to put down the name so I could say it later.
Yeah, Mike proudly presents a Heroes Punching 2099 production. Yeah.
Phantom
this
Lady
is-
production.
Number 2 in a 4-issue limited series. It's a portmanteau of Star and Warriors, Stariors, and this guy in this robot in the corner box has what looks like guns for nipples, like little purple nipple guns.
There we go. Look at that. He put some ice cubes
Titty
on that shit.
guns!
Little titty guns. Yeah, we'll have to put that one up on the YouTube.
He's like
page.
icing them like
People will
every few minutes to keep him pointy.
Oh, he's on the cover too, doing the same thing. Same guy. I'm looking at the
Same
corner
titty
box.
guns.
What if he
Same
like?
titty
Do you
guns.
think he like sucks on him? He like pulls
No.
them up and just sucks.
He doesn't
on
have a
them?
mouth or a tongue.
Yeah, you can't reach them. They don't
What
bend up.
What a terrible existence.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what this guy
suck on
is.
his own pointy titties.
He may not have feelings. We don't know. And here, he's caught in a spider web, and he's going to shoot a gun at a giant spider that presumably wants to eat him.
I'd imagine he's pretty impervious to anything the spiders can dish out. to
Yeah,
him.
really. Fuck the spider. A spider, like, let him try.
Yeah, the spider has like a bat face.
Yeah, and a little pig nose.
Little big nose.
Yeah.
Little big
Bats do have adorable faces.
They do. They're
They're
cute.
They're
little
little cute
mammals.
guys, little cuties. I like them.
They like
This-
They have the same emotional spectrum as you.
Well, I have a very limited.
Oh wait,
emotional
no, not you,
spectrum.
James.
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, not me,
I
not me,
forgot.
not me. I have 3 emotions, and 2 of them are pretty much the same.
Yeah. There's what is it?
No, I was about to say, I'm dying to know what the 3 are now.
James's was mostly like disgust and jealousy. I would say.
Yeah, those 2 kind of merge together, and then there's childlike whimsy.
Oh yeah, it's a whimsy.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
whimsy. Yeah. And I just veer frantically between the 3 of them, and I'm angry when people don't understand.
yeah. I'm
All
glad
right.
that Shée and I are normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are super normal.
Well,
Nope.
Shay's a woman. Her emotions are her own separate quandary.
No, she's on a lot of meds to make sure that her emotions go even keel.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
maybe I
the
should
best.
try that.
That just means I'm the best one.
Give me some emotions. All right, I think I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Stariors.
Star
Rio.
Wars.
EO. How we should probably like. How are we supposed to say this?
Star
Stariors.
Stariors. Stariors. I
Just
think
say
we-
warriors and then just put star in front of it.
Stariors.
Star Warriors. Star
it's just-
Warriors.
Nailed it.
It's a bad combination. It just doesn't work well.
Maybe
Like-
it was made in another language, and this is how it's translated.
Or
Like,
maybe
this
it's
is
just
like
a bad comic.
This is like a French.
Stariors.
This is like a French
Stariors.
comic, or there's like an actual French word for this,
Cool.
and it just doesn't translate.
No, I think you're giving it a lot of credit. Well, we're gonna find out next time, though.
Yeah,
We're
find
gonna
out
deep
next time.
dive in Stariors.
Stariors.
Stariors. There's a lot of R's in that word.
Yep, too many.
Space
we'll
guys.
cut some out. We'll cut some out for the
Yeah.
episode.
Cut out some R's.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just
we'll
the
take
space
out-
guys.
We'll
Space
take out all
robots.
the. How about this? Let's just get rid of all the R's.
Yeah,
It's just
Starios.
Staros?
No, Starios.
No, there's no R's, bro.
Starios.
Oh, that's right. It's just
Stios.
Stios.
They're all Greek now.
Starios was my favorite breakfast cereal growing up.
Yep.
All right. I think that's it. We should get
that's
out
it.
of here. I'm a little
Yep.
sweaty. I definitely want
Yep.
to deal with that.
Yep.
Anybody got any last comments before we get out of here?
Requests will only be accepted if the comic is 20 years old.
That's a good point. Shée,
You want to guess what you did again?
You forgot
God
closing
damn it.
plugs.
I am so bad at this. All right, Shée, you want to plug some stuff for us?
Yeah.
Plug the hole in my ability to host this podcast.
Find Dark Side's Couch on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any other podcast app you use to listen. And listen to us talk about all kinds of mutants, not just specific ones.
Thank you, Shée.
And
I appreciate
visit
that.
us at darksidescouch.com and follow us at Darksides Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And use us to entertain your children until they disappear or need to be disappeared.
They are absorbed from a stranger.
That's it for now. Ta-ta for now, Cushion Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
What do you want here?
I came to see you, Professor Charles Xavier. I'm mutating. Into what? I don't know.
I'm sorry, Spider-Man.
We only accept real mutants. Now get the fuck out of here.
He ain't even a real mutant.
Leewald, I see one. Talk about luck.
I knew if we watched Xavier's property long enough, we'd find a mutant. He's the world's top mutie lover.
But is Spider-Man a mutant?
Who cares? There's Henry McCoy. Now we're talking mutants.